to you from the arena.
The tradition continues on UPN 50. Red Wing Hockey, brought to you by New Miller Beer. Brewed from the heart of the hops for a beer with heart that goes down easy. By the 31 Metro Detroit Quality Ford dealers. By Bell Tire's American Car Care Centers. By ABC Warehouse, the closest thing to wholesale. By U.S. Postal, we deliver for you. And by Little Caesars new Stuffed Crust Pizza and Stuffed Crust Crazy Bread Combo. Carry out or deliver.
From Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan, possibly a preview of the first round of the Western Conference upcoming playoffs, as tonight the Detroit Red Wings host the Winnipeg Jets. And who will they play? Well, not sure. Take a look at that Western Conference, because there is a logjam. Who are going to be the final 6, 7, or 8 teams in that particular conference, and who are the Red Wings playing? Let's take a look right now as we take a look at that logjam with Calgary, Vancouver, all tied up into that mess. And not only Winnipeg, only a point behind those two teams, pressing on their heels, Anaheim. Look out for Anaheim. Is their time enough? On the Jets side of the ledger, this is a very important game. For the Red Wings, well, yeah. Can they set that record, at least tie that record of 60 wins, and still looking ahead to their main focus, and that would be the Stanley Cup. Once again, Scotty Bowman is platooning his goaltenders, and there's talk that he's going to do the same thing in the upcoming playoffs. Chris Osgood and Mike Burnett. And they both know that platooning will probably continue in the playoffs. No negative thoughts there from either netminder. In fact, Chris Osgood puts it this way.
You know, the playoffs are long. We're going to both play. I mean, whoever plays the first game doesn't mean he's going to play the second game. Doesn't mean he's going to play every game in the playoffs. I mean, we know that most likely both of us will get in there, so we'll be ready with whatever happens. You have to deal with the situation. You play every game. One guy plays every game, the other guy will deal with the situation of having the guy in the back and being ready to play. I mean, it's not really a concern. I mean, it's not even a big deal to us, really. I mean, whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens. So a mind-boggling game continues. You know, for the Red Wings, as they get ready for the playoffs, a time for a little experimenting, a time to raise the game maybe a notch or two for a few of the players, and maybe even rest for a couple of more players before the playoffs begin. It's a big game tonight for both teams for different reasons. And Dave and Mickey are standing by. We'll come right back to Joe Louis right after we take our first timeout.
Is it finally time to let go of your old computer? Now through Saturday, make no payments and pay no interest for 1 year on Packard Bell computers with monitors at Best Buy. Does your home theater look like this? Now through Saturday, all projection TVs, hi-fi VCRs, and home audio are on sale at Best Buy.
Choice. That's what makes this New York Carpet World sale unbeatable. Huge choice. Half our inventory, half our store, half price. Thousands of carpets, every style and color, half price. Then save on everything else. Pad, labor, credit, all of it. Look, get carpet half price and padding free. Carpet half price and save on labor. Carpet half price and credit free. Hurry, half our inventory, half our store, half price. With savings on pad, labor, and credit, everything. At New York Carpet World through Saturday.
We're into the future.
The future of car rental savings is easier now at Avis. Introducing the new Super Value Package from the employee owners of Avis. This low prepaid package rate includes loss and damage protection, child safety seats, free unlimited miles, and your first tank of gas, so there's no refueling charge. All in one low weekly rate. Ask your travel agent or Avis for our Super Value Package and save.
Trying harder than ever, Avis. Come on, see how. Trying harder.
travels for days to the farthest reaches of South America. He carefully selects only the finest beans. And after they're roasted to perfection, only then will you hear him say,
"Time to make the coffee."
Dunkin' Donuts coffee, brewed fresh all day long. Now get $1 off when you take home a pound of our delicious coffee, only at Dunkin' Donuts.
Back at the Joe Louis Arena, where right now they have just introduced Red Berenson and his national championship University of Michigan Hockey Club. They had not won a championship since 1964. Of course, the Red Wings have not won a championship since 1955. So Red Wing fans and hockey fans around the state of Michigan hoping perhaps that this is an omen. Well, right now, Danielle Brownfield of Flint, Michigan will entertain us with the U.S. and Canadian national anthems.
Our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing heart we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight gleaming, whose bright stars and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we won, words of gallantry streaming. And the darkest gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing does that star-spangled banner yet wave. Oh, land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's take a look at the starting goaltenders. Nikolai Khabibulin. There you see his overall records, making his 8th straight start. He's a big reason why the Jets are 6-3-1 in their last 10 games overall. And Chris Osgood, who has not won in his last 2 starts. He has a loss at San Jose and a tie at Anaheim since going 19-0-2 in 21 games. And that 21-game stretch was since a loss here at Joe Louis Arena against the Winnipeg Jets. As we take a look at the officials, Paul Dvorsky is the referee. Randy Mitten and Kevin Collins are the linesmen. Let's correct the Western Conference standings that Ray was referring to. Detroit, Colorado, Chicago are locked in. St. Louis has not clinched yet, even though the most points Vancouver can get is 79 because Vancouver has the tiebreaker. Toronto was 78, Calgary was 77, and we'll show you the rest of that list at the bottom, where there still is a fight to see who's going to get in. Puck is dumped deep into the Jet zone. Back to get it is Numanen. Numanen from behind Khabibulin now will flip it out to center ice. Does not connect. Going to be icing if Lidstrom gets there, and he does touch just ahead of Dallas Drake.
Well, David, the big thing, I guess, that when you look, and we'll get to it in a second, the second part of the conference, is that there are 6 teams that can finish anywhere from 4th place in the conference all the way to out of the playoffs in 9th position as we enter play tonight. Anaheim is playing at Colorado, and a lot of people might say, whoa, that's no problem. Colorado will handle that easily. Not so quick. The Ducks have beaten Colorado 3 games already and put a couple of lickings on them, 4-0 and 7-3. 2 different games. Beat them 3 out of 4, I believe.
Well, if the Winnipeg Jets win here tonight and Anaheim loses against Calgary, Winnipeg is in. What that would do would narrow it down to the only team then that Anaheim could catch. Well, actually, it wouldn't narrow it down to one team, but Vancouver would be certainly a team that the Ducks could catch. They still would have Calgary within range after that tough overtime loss by the Flames last night.
Big hit by McCarty.
He's thrilled. Dallas Drake in the corner. Winnipeg Jets had the Red Wings number early in the season. Red Wings swept a home and home against the Jets. Here comes Drake, wanted to put a hit on Rouse, but Rouse stepped away and gave it off now to Lidstrom. Red Wings won those back-to-back games earlier in the month of March by 5-2 scores on a Sunday in Winnipeg and a Tuesday here at Detroit. Dave Manson puts it high up on the glass behind Osgood. Waiting for it is Olchuk. Centering attempt off a stick. It's picked up by Ramsey. Backhand pass comes out to center ice. Manson has it there and drives it in. We'll get to the scratches shortly. Significant for the Red Wings. A defense tandem of theirs. Both out of the game tonight. Mark Bergevin with a groin and Paul Coffey. So this young man, number 4, Jamie Pusher, just called up from the Adirondack Red Wings. Has played a couple of games for Detroit this year and had 1 assist. Here is Primo. Trying to go wide. Manson, good job in the neutral zone to stop Primo, who had plenty of momentum. Now Norm McIver is checked by Draper. Sweeping in there. Cicerelli, he got clotheslined as he was going through in behind the Jets goal. He has something to say to the referee, Dvorsky.
Well, Dino's doing his thing, getting his words in with Dvorsky and to keep an eye on things. But Dino, of course, hands out every bit as much as he gets on any given night. He's got that uniform on. Coming in at tonight, Cicerelli has played in 62 games. As you look at the Red Wings scratches, along with Coffey and Bergevin, Johnson, Walls, Grimson, and Taylor out for Scotty Bowman. Or Jimmy Pusher, as Dave mentioned, in the lineup. He just got called up from Adirondack yesterday.
Another big hit. This time a collision between Draper and Tkachuk.
Tkachuk just drilled Draper right between the eyes with the glove on.
A shot wide of Habby Bullen. Draper gets loose, sends it to the front of the net. Habby Bullen steers it aside out to the line. Pusher has it there. Eastwood checks him. What do we got?
Uh-oh, high stick. Accidental, I know. 2 players collided. King got the worst of it. It was Draper.
You know what? I think what Dvorsky's calling, Mick, was an exchange that took place as the players were going to the bench.
Yeah, with Tkachuk and Draper, and through that collision, one of the sticks came loose and clipped Chris King in the head. There he is there, 17 blue. Those are those freak accidents. Here, watch number 7, Tkachuk, right there. Pop, right in the jaw. Pretty good shot onto Draper. Keith Tkachuk is a very, very good hockey player. He comes into this game with 49 goals and 96 points.
Played under a little bit of pressure after getting that huge offer from the Chicago Blackhawks that included $6 million this year that was matched by the Jets. As you take a look at the scratches for Winnipeg. The big name there, of course, Alexei Zhamnov, who's been out with an inflamed nerve in his back. They don't know to what extent that there's any damage or how soon that Tkachuk, or rather Zhamnov, might be back as we take a look at Tkachuk in the penalty box. But Zhamnov certainly would be a great addition, Mick, if he is able to come back in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're not kidding, because he's a very good hockey player. He's a big, tall, lanky centerman, good skater, playmaker. You got a bit of problem there with the boards where they are bolted together. Sometimes you get even a quarter of an inch higher or sticking out further than the other one. Boy, you get some really weird deflections over there, and you can catch your stick and hurt yourself very badly on a play like that.
Heard a little bit of your conversation with Nick Libet talking about this Red Wing team, even 5-on-5, seeming like they're on a power play.
Yeah.
These 4-on-4 situations have been something to watch as well, especially in recent weeks. Red Wings have outscored the opposition 13-4 in these 4-on-4 matchups. And you got Fedorov, Larionov, Fetisov, and Konstantinov. Fedorov gains the line. Gives it off to Larionov. Now Fetisov goes for the front of the net. It comes to Konstantinov. Open momentarily. It's slapped away. Recovered by Fedorov, and it's knocked away by the Jets all the way back into the Detroit zone. 2.5 gone by here in the first period. 1.5 minutes remaining in the coincidental minors to Tkachuk of the Jets and Draper of the Red Wings. And here is Fedorov. Red Wings scored a 4-on-4 goal in Chicago on Sunday, and Fedorov lifts the shot just wide of Khabibulin. Here's the setup now. Fedorov with a chance, and a good pass save by Khabibulin as the Red Wings get the first couple of scoring chances in this hockey game. Osgood yet to face a shot on goal. Red Wings making some changes now. Konstantinov forced back by Janney. He's the newest member of this Winnipeg team. Came over just before the trade deadline, Craig Janney from San Jose in exchange for Darren Turcotte. Very different kind of players, but this 4-on-4 is a situation where a guy like Janney can be very dangerous. Red Wings will have to watch him, and here's Norm McIver. His pass for Janney. A little bit behind him, but Janney able to get control, plays it ahead, looking for Dallas Drake. He battles now against Kozlov, comes to center ice. McIver has it there. And McIver drops it back down for Manson. Manson goes center ice for Drake. Drake trying to get loose from his man Kozlov. He does. Coming back to help out Lidstrom, and there was Kozlov to intercept the pass. Great support there. And communication between Lidstrom and Kozlov as Doug Brown has it now with under 10 seconds left of the 4-on-4. Brown takes it wide. Tough angle shot. A right toe save by Khabibulin. There is Kozlov with it. Kozlov cross ice for Jamie Pusher. Pusher to the front of the net. Khabibulin the save. Draper and Tkachuk out of their respective boxes as the puck rolls back into the Red Wings zone. It's chopped now by Ramsey off the linesman. And the Jets touch it and the play offside. We're early in the first period. 4 shots on goal for the Red Wings. None for the Jets. There's no score.
Joe Dumars for your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealer.
So what's my idea of a winning team? Guys who go all out to get the job done. You know, do whatever it takes. True pros in every sense of the word. Like your Metro Detroit Ford dealers.
Your Metro Detroit Ford dealers welcome Joe Dumars to their winning team. The only place where you'll find 5 of America's very best.
Make that 6. See a Metro Detroit Ford dealer today. Now that's my kind of team.
It's Little Caesars. Stuffed crust pizza and pepperoni stuffed crazy bread for $8.99. You can't afford a big name. Now they want a sports celebrity. We can do sports.
Little Caesars stuffed crust pizza plus cheese and pepperoni stuffed crazy bread carried out just $8.99 or have it delivered. Delivery.
I'll handle the effects.
Red Wings believe every child matters. That's why they are supporting Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Metro Detroit with a compact disc called Hope in Hockeytown. A lot of your favorite artists on there. You can purchase Hope in Hockeytown at all Detroit area Harmony House locations or call 1-800-WINGS-25. Dave Prater back along with Mickey Redmond, Ray Lane here as well. Toby Cunningham down on the truck. This game added to our UPN 50 schedule because of the possible historical significance. Red Wings looking to tie the all-time record for wins in a season. They come in with 59, and also this is a possible preview of what we might see next week on UPN 50. If the Jets finish in 8th, then we have a penalty here, a charging call against the Jets coming in 4 minutes and 46 seconds, and it will be Mike Stapleton going to the box.
Mike Stapleton, a hit from behind on Jamie Pusher. Mike is the son of former Blackhawk great Pat Whitey Stapleton, longtime defenseman for Chicago. Mike has been a defensive center, checker, penalty killer in his career. Only 9 goals in 55 games this year. Signed last summer as a free agent out of Edmonton. Has played with
Pittsburgh and Chicago as well in his career. Red Wings on the power play. This was a big factor, of course, in their victory at Chicago on Sunday afternoon when they went 3 for 13 in that 3-hour and 20-minute debacle. Eiserman over the line, pushes it now to Cicerelli, closing in. Cicerelli in front for Primo. Good play by Javi Bullen, got the goal stick on it and knocked it loose. Cleared to center ice and taken there by Lidstrom as he is checked by Dallas Drake. Puck comes free. Tkachuk with a hit on Eiserman. Primo with a hit on Tkachuk. Here is Fedorov. Gains the zone. Bobbing and weaving so he can get the Jets to back off. Drives a shot, deflected just wide. And Dallas Drake takes a hit from Lidstrom and clears it down the ice.
6 minutes, Dallas Drake's been on his can twice. And what's going on? That's not much of a homecoming.
Here's a right wing pass down for Cicerelli. Red Wings 10 for 33, Mick, in the season series against the Jets on the power play. Here is Winnipeg, 3-on-2 shorthanded. It comes to Newman, and with the pass broken up by Fedorov. Behind the net, Darren Shannon given a bump there by Cicerelli. Just under a minute left in the penalty to Stapleton as the puck rolls back into the Winnipeg zone. Finley, the defenseman, put it right up into the crowd and out of play. And as Ray would say, one of the guys serving the Golden Nectar almost got knocked down. As we take a look at the rest of the standings, Vancouver has just one game remaining, and that is at home against Calgary. Winnipeg here tonight, home to L.A., and then in Anaheim, the last day of the season. Anaheim, Mick, has some work to do tonight in Colorado, and they're home to Dallas on Friday. They need to get something out of these two games to force Vancouver to do something in their game Saturday night.
In the last week and a half to 2 weeks, Anaheim has gotten one break, and that was Calgary losing last night at home to Dallas in overtime. Other than that, everything has gone against them that could go against them. Incredible. And the Ducks have been hotter than a firecracker the last 3 weeks or so. 3 weeks ago, they trailed the Canucks by 16 points. Now, only 3.
40 seconds left in this Red Wing power play as Kozlov getting worked over by the defenseman Finley. Now Constantino tried to dig it out from underneath Tkachuk, but a quick whistle.
Again, I guess a lot of people would say, well, I don't really care who gets in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th, but the key is, of course, Detroit is first overall. That 8th place team will be their first round opponent. So when you look at everybody from St. Louis, Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Anaheim, or the Mighty Ducks. Well, I mentioned Anaheim, the Mighty Ducks, and who's left? Vancouver, did I miss somebody? Winnipeg Jets right here. 6 teams, and one of them isn't going to make it.
The one thing about playing this Winnipeg team, Mick, got word from the folks that do the radio for the Jets. Every ticket, standing room included, for the first 2 playoff games at home are sold out. They know the team is going to Phoenix. That emotional impact on the home crowd.
You know that they're going to be out in big numbers, and they're going to be loud. They're going to be the Phoenix Coyotes.
Coyotes, yes. Here is Kozlov into the zone, trying to make a quick move on a Jet line change. Pass for Fedorov didn't get through. 5 seconds left in the Jets penalty, but the Jets able to clear. Konstantinov back to get it. Rolls it all the way back into the Winnipeg zone. That'll be offside.
No, it's
Lariana. He's okay. He went back
and tagged up.
Oleg Tverdovsky, the former Mighty Duck, who along with Kilger came to Winnipeg in the deal that sent Solani to Anaheim. Now Korolev rolls it ahead looking for Stapleton, knocked away by Fedorov and recovered by Konstantinov. Kozlov, little drop pass for Fedorov. With speed, Jets backing up. Fedorov tried to pull it through and it was knocked away. And a quick challenge there by Fetisov broke up the Jets counterattack. Here come the Red Wings. Now Fedorov, just inside the line, sends it across for Fetisov and hops off his stick to the line, held in. Larionov sends it to the corner. Cleared out of there by Craig Muni up the near side. Rubbed in by Janney. Now Janney had it roll off his stick, and it's picked up by Kirk Maltby back in the lineup tonight. Here is LaPointe trying to get loose from Maltby. He's held up by Norm McIver. That's the kind of stuff away from the puck that the Red Wings are hoping will be called in the playoffs, and Dvorsky let it go there. I mean, McIver prevented Maltby from going to the net, and Maltby did not have the puck. There's Maltby with it now. McIver with an elbow to the side of Maltby's head as Manson comes up with it now. Manson sends it ahead. Dallas Drake couldn't control. Jamie Pusher drives it back into the Winnipeg zone. Doug Brown trying to get there, does. Sends it back in deep. Rob Airy lost his footing. Tripped over the faceoff circle and went sliding in behind Javi Bullen and gives us the break we're looking for. 11:42 left in the first. There is no score.
there's hops. Without hops, beer wouldn't taste as good as it does. Take the best part of the hops, the beer's going to taste even better. We found a way now makes it possible to brew beer straight from the heart of the hops. For a beer with heart that goes down easy. We think so much of this new beer, we're just calling it who we are. Miller. Always new possibilities. Gotta reach for what's out there.
Season after season after season, Weingarts has the right equipment for you. Now, during the 51st anniversary sale, Weingarts will cut you a great deal on a Toro Wheelhorse lawn tractor. Just $14.99 with no money down, no payments, or interest until October on approved credit. Toro Wheelhorse, made in the USA. Weingarts of Utica and Farmington is still Michigan's largest outdoor power equipment dealer. The reason? We service what we sell. Always.
Just a reminder that this week only, UPN's regular Tuesday night lineup moves to Thursday. Don't miss Moesha, Minor Adjustments, followed by an all-new Paranormal Borderline, hosted by Star Trek's Jonathan Frakes. That's a special night tomorrow night, starting at 8 right here on UPN 50. Of course, we'll be your home for Red Wing playoff hockey for the first 2 rounds in this season, as everyone hoping that the Wings will take it to the finals and take that extra step and bring the Stanley Cup to Detroit. That's all the players are talking about, with all the attention here in these last couple of regular season games being on the victory total of 60, but they're looking to tie with their next win. Chris King, a former Red Wing, takes a hit from McCarty. A loose puck was blocked in front of Osgood, and the Jets still looking for their first shot on goal, and we played nearly 9 minutes. Eiserman checked by Manson. Ramsey to the front of the net. That's off the skate of MacGyver. Now McCarty rolls it back for Airy. Manson steps into him. Here comes Eiserman. Manson plays it up the boards. Darren Shannon drops it back for Eastwood. He hands it off to MacGyver, joining the rush. Now to Shannon, winds up. Tried to drive it through. He did, but he missed the net. Now Eastwood backhands it in along the end boards. Ramsey steps in front of Shannon. Lays it up the right wing side, and McCarty able to roll it across, but out of the reach of Eiserman. Finley up the middle. Back the other way as Olchuk winds up, drives a shot. Osgood, stop, and it was going in the net, and it was knocked away by Pusher. Wow. It comes back to Olchuk. He'll try it again. Save, rebound, sent wide. Centering pass, a chance here for Olchuk if he can get it to settle down, but he couldn't. It was underneath Batisov. Jets get it loose, and from score! Stapleton was all alone in front, and when that puck came loose, the Jets found him, and Winnipeg leads it 1-0.
Red Wings never recovered, even though Pusher kept the puck out of the net the first time on the shot by Olchuk. It's Mike Stapleton. Eddie Olchuk just kept digging away and persevered with Draper all over him to get the puck to Stapleton. And the first goal of the hockey game. Batisov thought he had it covered, but Olchuk just kept at it and dug it loose to Stapleton. Nobody there. Primo got there a second later, and Stapleton gets his 10th goal of the year. Just seconds before that, puck goes off Osgood's shoulder, going in the net, and there's Pusher to knock it loose. But again, they were never able to really recover. And who was that down?
I think that's Eddie Olchuk.
And Olchuk missed a lot of this season. He only played in 48. This is 49th game, and he's not long back, just a couple of weeks. And they sure could use him for his offense, Eddie Olchuk.
Well, he's got 26 goals in basically a shortened season, almost like last year's 48-game campaign.
Well, let's see if we can see what happened after he struggled with Batisov, and then there's Draper. He just kind of fell down there. Now he looks all right there. Left knee. A lot of times when you're around that net and you're involved with the puck going in, you're happy to see that happen. Your pain is deferred when things settle down, and that certainly looked to be the case with Olchuk. And he gingerly heads to the Winnipeg bench, and they lead at 1-0.
Olchuk gets the only assist on Stapleton's 10th at 9:44. Olchuk just came back from the injured reserve list on April the 6th. Scored a goal in a big win against Calgary. Now Draper winds up and drives it into the Jet zone. Cicerelli waiting for it. Bumps there with Janney. Cicerelli protecting the puck. Goes the other way on Janney. Hands it off now for Primo. Primo gets a pick from Cicerelli. Now Newman tries to take him up. Hands off to Cicerelli. Cicerelli throws it back in the corner. Red Wings cycling well here against the Jets. So 1-0 Winnipeg lead. Now Cicerelli going after it. Newman unable to chip it by him. Now Finley backhands it up the near boards, and Dallas Drake sends it out to center ice. Janney cross ice pass for Tkachuk. He's onside. Drives the shot deflected. Osgood got the shoulder on it. And it comes back for Ramsey. Out to center ice. Draper has it and just flips it into the Winnipeg zone as we've just passed the halfway mark of this first period. Red Wings have the first 4 shots on goal. Jets have had the last 4. Here's Tverdovsky. On the move, lost his footing, but works it deep into the wing zone. Konstantinov pushes it to the corner. Chris King was there trying to center. Didn't get anything on it. But Tisov looking for a long backhand flip for Kozlov, and that was knocked out of midair. Excellent play by Eastwood. If he doesn't get a stick on that, Kozlov might be gone on a breakaway. Lead pass here for Eastwood. That play is onside. Eastwood looking to circle the Detroit goal. Put it out in front. Intercepted by Larionov. Kozlov trying to get loose, so is Fedorov. Larionov's lead pass intercepted by King. And Chris King, the captain of the Jets, starts it back the other way to center ice. Puts it high up on the glass, around behind Osgood. Chipped by Kozlov. Darren Shannon got a stick on it. For the Jets, but Larionov recovers back for Konstantinov. 8.5 remaining first period. 1-0 Jets. Here's a steal. And a chance for McKenzie, but he never got a shot away, I don't believe, and there's no penalty. Osgood did get his left pad out there, but I don't think McKenzie ever got the shot away. Lifted by Fedorov, back into the Jet zone, and back to get it, Norm McIver.
Not as sharp as they need to be in their own end, Dave, so far. A couple of turnovers, and Jets are taking advantage of that, skating pretty well. They've done that in pretty much most of the series against the Red Wings this year. This should be an icing pusher back to touch. And with Mike Stapleton got the only goal of the hockey game, the Jets have a 1-0 lead. Back in a moment.
Do you feel safe driving your car?
Sure do.
Now, I know you've got all the things you think you'll need. But what if something unexpected happens? Then you'll need this safety feature, the Pick Up and Go Cellular Safety Pack from Ameritech. For just $19.95 a month, you get a free portable phone, airtime, and service. Act now and get up to 10 hours of free local airtime plus up to $10 of Ameritech Cellular long distance. Who would have thought peace of mind could be so affordable?
Thank you.
Pick Up and Go Cellular only from Ameritech. Your link to better communication.
So the tire store guy says, great deal on them tires. You want valve stems? No thanks. Your tires won't work without valve stems. They're extra. Then he told me all the other extras I needed. So guess what happened to my great deal on them tires?
Bell Tire introduces a revolutionary way to buy tires. Out-the-door pricing. When we give you the guaranteed lowest price, it's the total, complete, everything's included price with absolutely no extras ever.
Bell Tire.
Nobody comes close. Nobody's closer.
Time for the first of our 3 clues. Who am I? Brought to you by the Wellness Plan on HMO. That's good for you. This player was the Red Wings' first-round draft pick and 3rd overall selection in the 1990 entry draft. We'll have a couple of more clues. When you know the answer, put it on a postcard. Send it to Who Am I, care of the Joe Louis Arena, 600 Civic Center Drive, Detroit 48226. The Jets are trying to clinch a spot in the playoffs in their final season in Winnipeg. And the Red Wings, just in case they get there, trying to send a message. Jets with a 1-0 lead. Mike Stapleton with the only goal. Each team with 4 shots to this point. Here is Stapleton with it. He drops it back, gets it from McIver. Now checked by Bob Airy. Old Chuck back out there, so he is recovered. Here's a quick shot off a loose puck. Again, the Red Wings, as you pointed out, Mick, not real sharp.
You know, the one thing you throw into this mix here, and it just seems to happen in professional sports so many times, coming off the West Coast on a long road trip in your first game back, a lot of teams just are not up to par. Whether it's a time change, whatever.
Here is Eisenman falling down, save and a score! Great play by McCarty to tie the game at 1.
That's showing some hands for big Darren McCarty. I'm sure that Terry Simpson's going to say, what is a guy doing standing around the front of the net that long without somebody being all over him? He had time to make the move that he did. Eisenman knocked down by Manson, and McCarty in behind the Winnipeg defense. Had all the time in the world to make that move over to the forehand, and a good swift move by McCarty ties the hockey game as he sneaks it underneath the catching glove of Hobby Boolin.
That was Norm McIver that had all kinds of problems trying to handle McCarty. McIver, not a big defenseman.
It looked like he turned his back on McCarty or allowed him to slip in behind him without taking a quick peek. You can't do that if you're a defenseman. You got to be aware if somebody's gotten in behind you. And the Jets completely ignored number 25 and paid the price.
15th of the year, and Mick his 8th in the last 15 games. He has been on a roll. Chance for Fedorov. Went just wide. Lidstrom getting an assist along with Heiserman on the McCarty goal. Batista back to recover, tried to clear, knocked down Dallas Drake, sends it right through the goal mouth, and it bounces all the way back center ice. Good. Left it for Fetisov. Fedorov challenged, nearly got it through. Konstantinov follows up, and he will get it to center ice. Now to Fedorov into the zone. Fedorov checks. Still moves it to Brown. Brown circling the Jets goal. Looking out in front. Gives it behind the net for Fedorov. Out in front. Here's Brown with a chance. Save, rebound, score! Kurt Maltby with his first goal as a Red Wing.
And it couldn't be any easier. Was this ever a give and go with Doug Brown and Sergei Fedorov? Just like they draw it on the board. Here Brown goes back to Fedorov. He just wheels into the slot. There isn't any hesitation by Fedorov at all. It was Numanen that he lost track of where he was and where everybody was. And next thing you know, there's a white jersey standing there with a wide open 4x6 to make it 2-1. Here's Maltby behind the net. See all the Jets over to the one side, and boy, they were standing around watching there and paid that price. 2-1.
Bouncy puck in behind Osgood. He gets a stick on it to steer it to the corner. Collision between Draper and Shannon. The clear to Primo. Primo rolls at center ice. Cicerelli's got the speedy Draper coming late. Draper looking to go wide on King. Took a slash, knocked his glove off. Draper has it right out in front, and it's intercepted. Well, the Jets get it to center ice. Here is King with it. Flips it in deep. Jamie Pusher stood his ground against Chris King. Watch those two. But they'll separate here as Draper to center ice.
Oh, he just got canned again. He got no glove, and King trying to take advantage of that. And here comes the big boy, 55, in to say, that's enough of that. And Pusher may get a piece of King before this is night's out. Pusher's played very well for Adirondack. He's put a lot of weight on since the days that he was drafted 3 years ago. Put on at least 20, 25 pounds. And he's learned to play it a little meaner and tougher. And that's what the Red Wings would like to see out of him. With his size, he's a big boy back there. Here's Draper. Look at that chop by King. A two-hander that knocked the glove right off him. He never did get the glove back. Until the penalty was called on King for knocking him down from behind him. See Draper trying to protect his hand right there. There's the hit right there. That's the play. Blindsided. Chris King should know better than that. He's a rough, tough guy. Likes to play it that way, but he knew if he hit Draper there from the blind side, he was going to get a penalty.
Charging the call against King. Red Wings go back on the power play. Their second of the hockey game. They're 0 for 1, but they lead 2-1 after the goal by Stapleton. McCarty at 12:44. 50 seconds later at 13:34, Maltby. His third of the season, first as a Red Wing. Fedorov with it. He'll turn and start it back the other way. Incidentally, with the assist on the Maltby goal, Fedorov has stretched his scoring streak now to 9 games. Kozlov hooked to the ice in front of Dvorsky, who let it go. Now Finley battling against two Red Wings. Puck comes free. Dallas Drake. Good play to get it off the boards for Tkachuk, and he sends it down the ice. Larionov, Kozlov, Fedorov up front. Tisov and Konstantinov. There's the 5-man Russian unit here on the power play. Back to Fetisov that took a bad bounce. Plays it off the boards. Nobody there for the Wings. It's intercepted by Muni jumping into the play. To Korolev drives the shot blocked by Fetisov to the corner. Muni gets there. Wanted to center it for Darren Shannon. Now Shannon will drive it all the way back to center ice. Nice play by Manson to Korolev, and Korolev dumps it back behind Osgood. Osgood to Fetisov with 40 seconds left in the King minor penalty. 4:15 to go here in the period. Ciccarelli drops it back. Lidstrom avoids the check, gets it into the zone now for Yzerman, looking across for Ciccarelli. Didn't get enough on it. And it's Stapleton. Jumped to the ice by Rouse, with Stapleton able to make the clear. And here is Lidstrom circling the Detroit goal. Sends it ahead for Yzerman. 15 seconds left in the power play. Yzerman drops for Ciccarelli. He goes back to Rouse. Rouse the drive. Save. Hobby Bullen right on.
That may be the best scoring chance that Bob Rouse has had almost all year long. That was a dandy.
Penalty to King has expired. And out of the box, there's a strip by Dallas Drake. Sends it ahead for Tkachuk. Konstantinov is there. Here comes Dallas Drake. Konstantinov saw him coming. Back comes Yzerman. Winds up, drives it high over the head of Hobby Bullen. First one on it is Draper. He's tied up by Manson. Draper trying to control that puck. It comes up the boards, held in by Ramsey. Back behind the net. Hobby Bullen waving the stick at Draper. That's your reaction from the crowd. Here is Draper again. Knocked away by Norm McIver. Tkachuk just got it past Ciccarelli. Across center ice, now to McIver. Into the wing zone, sets it up for Dallas Drake. Drake waiting, makes a move. Puck comes down to Janney. Back to the line. McIver played it off the board. Drake sends it out to the line. Tverdovsky is forced back. Flips it toward the net. Blocked by Ramsey. Picked up by Drake. Blocked by Ramsey again. And Airy trying to clear. Got it to the line, but not out. Konstantinov back to get it. Oh, here comes Drake with an elbow up, and then he got it from Konstantinov. Dallas Drake went in elbow first. And I think Konstantinov got Dallas Drake before Drake could get him. Dallas Drake has the right to be upset, but he's got no right to cry wolf to the referee because...
You get his face in the way again, Dallas?
Well, he went in to throw the elbow, I believe. We'll wait till we see the replay. 2:35 remaining in the first. Wings with a 2-1 lead.
Ford and your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers are giving you more, so you pay less. Now lease a new 96 Escort 3-door LX loaded for as low as $196 a month. Now with $1,000 cash back. It's America's best-selling small car for under $200 a month. Just $196 for 24 months through Ford Motor Credit with our low-mileage lease. The Great Percent event rolls on. A great time to get so much more for so much less with over 2,000 Escorts in stock to choose from. See any one of your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers today.
Forget typical. Say goodbye to the usual too. And take the road less traveled. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell. Let's head for the border. Taco Bell, it's time. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell.
There's Konstantinov on the right. Dallas Drake's going to come in. He's looking to lay a hit on him. And Vladimir got the elbow up and corked Drake right on the left ear. And what do you call? Coincidental penalties?
Nothing.
Nothing at all? Watch Hobby Bullen take the stick and try to scare Draper. I don't understand. Boy, you can't even go near a goaltender. And they're going to call a penalty on you. And they got to teach these guys that they've got to mind their own business back there. If a goaltender can tell what restaurant you've been in last night, you get a penalty. You're too close to him. My goodness. And they're waving around that big stick. Well, I guess if you're a goalie, the rules are made that way. You might as well take advantage of them. That's the way they're made.
Here is Kozlov behind the net. Konstantinov, the defenseman, in there deep, but Fedorov back near the blue line covering up. So the Red Wings had two men back. And covered up by Nikolai Hobby Bullen. So if he smells the garlic, he knows it's Italian.
You got it. I mean, you can't really look at him or go too close to him. You can't brush him. You can't interfere with him. And they're allowed to do it at that end. Get off that man wagon, Mick.
Join the Red Wings as they prepare for the playoffs by wearing authentic team merchandise called the Pros at the Joe for the finest wearables featuring Central Division Championship, President's Trophy, and I Want Stanley merchandise. Call 1-800-WINGS-25 to order. Operators are standing by right now. Red Wings have a 2-1 lead with just over 2 minutes left here in the first period. It comes to Draper. Back now for Lidstrom to the net with it in the glove of Hobby Bullen. He dropped it but swept it away before Primo could get to it. Then Igor Korolev skates to center ice. Sends it in behind Osgood. Nicholas Lidstrom has it there. Lidstrom pushes it to Draper. Draper had a couple of goals on the road trip, one in San Jose and one in Chicago on Sunday. Primo took a couple of hits. Puck comes free. Recovered by Rouse. Now to Draper behind the net. He is checked by Manson. Primo goes to try to get the puck, and he's hooked. Penalty coming, I believe, against McIver. Either McIver or Manson. They're both there. And Manson just gave Draper a little...
Boy, Drapes is... he's drawn a lot of attention for a little guy here tonight, isn't he? And Kachuk right in the first couple of shifts gave him a pop right in the jaw. Here it's Big Manson that goes after him a couple of times. And Chris King was after him in between. Manson just bugs him.
Yep.
And then, that wasn't enough. Adds insult to injury. Give him another pop here. Big Dave Manson, another former Blackhawk.
And I thought the penalty was against McIver, and so did McIver, because he had prevented Primo from going in behind the net to get to that loose puck. Manson took a bad penalty in St. Louis the other night in a 1-1 hockey game, and the Blues ended up scoring a power play goal, made it 2-1. Dallas Drake scored with 5 seconds left in regulation in that game to get the big point for the Jets, but Manson has got to stay on the ice.
If you're a hockey fan, this is the greatest time of the year, boy. Every shift is important. Your team fighting for the playoffs. Final positioning.
Better off back to get it. Jets have not had a power play yet. This is the third for the Red Wings, who have had the last 5 shots on goal. Play is onside for Yzerman. He picks it up at the hash mark. A couple of Jets right on him. Primo tried to tuck it in front. Aaron Shannon battling with Cicerelli. Newman gets there and clears it down the ice. Less than a minute remaining on the period. Manson penalty will carry over unless the Red Wings can score. Here comes Fedorov. Chased by Korolev. Drops it back. A drive by Lidstrom. Save Hobby Bullen. And Cicerelli just dart around Muni to get to that loose puck. Now it comes to Lidstrom toward the net with a tip. And Yzerman couldn't get it through to the net. Bouncing puck. Fedorov has it. Gets the Jets to back off. Sends it across now for Yzerman. Yzerman rolls it to the corner. Cicerelli checked by Muni. Muni tried to go around the board. That took a strange hop right out to the line. Lidstrom waiting there. Yzerman has it now. Sends it back for Primo in the corner. Still 25 seconds. Plenty of time in the period. Red Wings will settle it down. Look for the good shot.
Fedorov could be open.
He is for the one-timer to the net. And Hobby Bullen steers it aside. And Shannon now will send it off the stick of Korolev all the way down the ice. And that should about do it. Lidstrom lifts it ahead, and the crowd appreciating the comeback of the Red Wings after falling behind 1-0. They score a couple of goals in less than a minute to lead it by a score of 2-1. Well, Ray Lane will visit with Igor Larionov, and perhaps they'll talk about that slashing incident, the exchange between Steve Smith, Larionov. Steve Smith with a broken bone in his leg, out for probably 4 weeks. No word yet from the NHL whether there will be any disciplinary action against Igor Larionov. Igor will be Ray's guest in our first intermission. Don't go away.
Oh, Bill, did I tell you what Patty said that Rachel heard about what Mark said about Patty? Well, Bill, are you listening? Anyway, Patty ran into Rachel, who had run into Mark at a party. So, according to Bill, are you listening to me or to the game?
5-6 left on the clock. Missiles down by 1. Just a reminder, this game brought to you by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good. Smith inbounds to Wakeman through the paint. Tomahawk jam. Yes!
No job's too big. No job's too small. We're father and son. Give us a call.
Call 585-5500.
It's not about black.
You forget where you come from.
It's not about white.
You're going down.
It's about green.
William stole $500,000 worth of ice.
And it's about a cop who uses all 5 of his senses like weapons.
Ooh, you got me shaking down.
To stop a gang war, Detective James Ellison must see through the lies to uncover another cop's true colors.
Now, what you're about to hear has to stay in this room.
Before it's too late.
Sit down.
The Sentinel. Saturday afternoon at 4 on UPN 50.
They test car batteries here. They test pickup trucks here. And when they test yard machines, they go here. Dave Spivey's house. MTD tractors, chipper shredders, lawnmowers, and edgers tackle the toughest jobs. Look for MTD yard machines at retailers near you. MTD.
Wow! I like it!
MTD yard machines, American made, American owned.
To become a member of the Kamikaze Surf Club, initiates must first prove their worthiness by successfully negotiating radical monster swells, no smaller than your average drive-in movie screen. Pretty lame, considering what Blue Care Network doctors go through. Blue Care Network. We screen our doctors so you get better choices.
Intermission update brought to you by Arby's. Taste why it's better out here.
Yes, we're back at Joe Louis Arena here in the city of Detroit. The Red Wings with a 2-1 lead over Winnipeg after one period of play. Stapleton scores first, and McCarty comes through with his 15th of the year to not to score, and Maltby picks up his first in a Red Wing uniform to make it 2-1. Okay, so far scoreless in this game, but Igor Larionov has done a job since coming over here on October 24th, and I imagine you feel pretty comfortable like you've been here for a number of years.
Well, indeed, I feel really comfortable because team doing well, and I'm looking forward for the playoffs, and I hope I will take it this year.
Yeah, this team playing a little bit, not quite as much hitting as you saw Sunday against Chicago?
Well, the team we're playing against tonight, the Winnipeg Jets, they're trying to make the playoff spot, and they're playing desperately against us. And of course, we anticipate this kind of game from them, and we're trying to play as hard as possible because we can really afford to lose any games right now. Trying to get the record, and of course, play in front of the home crowd.
A little experimenting is still being done by Scotty Bowman, though, with the lines out there, right?
Well, Scotty, he always trying to do some experiments during the regular season, so of course he's looking forward for the playoffs, and he want to see, I guess, better combinations in the line, so that's his job.
Steve Smith, Chicago, out of action, busted wrists, let's say okay, slashing. Have you heard any rumors about maybe you might hear about a suspension at all?
Well, I heard in the press about a couple of days ago, it was in the newspapers, they asking for 8 games in the playoffs, but it's not really me who's going to make a decision, so it's a league, and I had no intention to hurt Steve Smith because, I'm not the kind of player who is trying to hurt the people, and it's up to the league.
Take me away from the ice. What interest do you have? Can you have other interest besides hockey at this time of the year?
Well, it's just hockey because it's the most important time of the year, and of course I have to be focused and concentrate on the game. But of course I got 2 little girls at home, so I got a nice family, and spend my time with my wife and the kids.
Final question.
My parents also in town.
Final question. Were you on the phone long distance to Boris Yeltsin just recently?
Well, no, I wasn't. We talked to the Federation, but not to Boris Yeltsin. He's busy with his election campaign, and I hope we're going to resolve the dispute between us and the Federation next few days.
You've been a great addition. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Igor, our special guest, Larry Arnoff, 2-1 our score. We're coming back to Joe Louis Arena in just a moment. Hey, I'm glad we were talking politics. See you, pal. Arby's. Igor.
Why run with the rest of the herd when you can break away from the pack? Why settle for an average chicken sandwich when you can have Arby's tasty new chicken bacon and Swiss? It starts with Arby's famous seasoned and marinated chicken filet, our own special recipe. Then it's topped with thick cut peppered bacon and zesty western sauce for a taste that leaves the other guys in the dust. Try Arby's new chicken bacon and Swiss and taste why it's better out here. And try Arby's new home-style fries. So good they even beat McDonald's in a national taste test.
Between the first and second periods here at Joe Louis Arena in the Motor City, and certainly it's a 2-1 game at this point with the Red Wings on top. Dave and Mickey are standing by. But first of all, before we get away, Mrs. Bernice Graff, a patient out at Hospice of Michigan. We want to say a special Red Wing greeting to her, and of course Barbara and Jacques and Silver also wishing the very best. So Mr. and Mrs. Graff, have been avid Red Wing fans for many seasons, so stick with us for the remainder of the regular season and those playoffs, too. We're coming right back. Don't go away. Now, this time out.
Intermission Update has been brought to you by Arby's. Taste why it's better out here.
Joe Dumars for your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers.
So what's my idea of a winning team? Guys who go all out to get the job done. You know, do whatever it takes. True pros in every sense of the word. Like your Metro Detroit Ford dealers.
Your Metro Detroit Ford dealers welcome Joe Dumars to their winning team. The only place where you'll find 5 of America's very best.
Make that 6. See your Metro Detroit Ford dealer today. Now that's my kind of team.
C-O-L-A, cola is really great.
Snapple wants to get something straight. We have nothing against cola. The number 1 and 2 drinks in the world are both cola.
We love cola.
So why make over 40 flavors but no cola? We figured cola was covered. Besides, we want to be number 3, which leaves us free to offer, with all due respect, a few other choices.
Go cola.
Snapple, made from the best stuff on earth.
Most people work hard to get to the Olympic Games, but some lucky people can get there just by picking up their phone. Now with every AT&T International direct dial call you make from home, you get a chance to win a trip to the Olympic Games automatically. Every AT&T call is another chance to win. Besides, pressing these is a lot easier than pressing this. That's your true choice, AT&T.
Red Wing Hockey, brought to you by Delta Dental Plan of Michigan. Delta, right where you belong.
A runner, a teacher, a worker, a lover, around and round, both day and night. You need nerve.
You've got a lot to do in this life. Rite Aid can help. We're close by with all the things you really need. And some you'd never expect. For your life, Rite Aid's got it.
Well, the two Zambonis are working here feverishly in our first intermission. Red Wings lead the Winnipeg Jets 2-1 after 20 minutes of play. Dave Strader back along with Mickey Redmond. Red Wings got the first 4 shots on goal. Jets got the next 4. Red Wings got the last 7 of the period, so the Jets ended up with only 4 shots on goal. The Red Wings working on their third power play. Jets haven't had one yet, so we'll take a look at the 3 goals, and the one positive for the Jets, although they had few chances, they did take advantage of one.
Well, Winnipeg's got the kind of guys with hands like Olchek, like Kachuk, like Korolev, and Jamnov if he's in the lineup to take advantage of a little bit of sloppy play on your own end. The Red Wings just not able to recover from the puck they got behind. Osgood knocked out by Pusher, and Eddie Olchuk injured on the play, hurt that knee of his again, and Mike Stapleton gets his 10th of the year to make it 1-0. We're going to look at the Red Wing tying goal, and you'll see as this play develops, Darren McCarty sneaks in behind the Winnipeg defenseman McIver. Look at Eisenman dart in there and take the puck. That's the first gain for Detroit. 44 McIver completely ignores McCarty. He can't do that in front of the net. McIver not known as a physical defenseman, and you saw why right there. As Detroit gets a free pop at Habibulin, McCarty shows some good hands and creativity around the net. And later in the period, again, an open net goal. This one by Maltby. And you see the give and go by Fedorov and Brown here. Just an excellent plan. The Jets again turned their back on the loose man. Was Newman in this time. And Brown got the chance to flex off the Jets defenseman. And the cycling of the Red Wings paid off for them again. Maltby, big smile on his face, gets his first Red Wing goal, and happy to be in the lineup. And also happy to be in the lineup. Actually saved a goal, although later on the same sequence, the Jets did get their goal, but Jamie Pusher, very alert. Osgood's first shot hit him in the glove, bounced up over his head, was going across the line. Jamie Pusher getting an opportunity because of injuries to Bergevin and Coffey, and it's not all that bad for that to happen right now, Mick, to get guys like Maltby and like Pusher some playing time. Red Wings want to get a look at Pusher. You got 7 guys going into the playoffs. Pusher would be an 8th if he's here. They want to see what he's like, what he can do. He's played well in Adirondack.
All right, we'll take it to break. The Red Wings looking for a promise of a Stanley Cup, and very creative use of the UPN logo here by our fans at the Joe Louis Arena. We'll be back with our scoring summary and special stats to the Joe Louis Arena in a moment.
Forget typical. Say goodbye to the usual too. And take the road less traveled. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell. Let's head for the border. Taco Bell, it's time. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell.
Escape your reality at Valley Total Fitness. Join for only $5 to start, plus earn 6 months free by working out. Call 1-800-FITNESS. And free your body, mind, and soul for just $5 to start. Escape.
Back at the Joe Louis Arena, Jets jumped out to a 1-0 lead before the Red Wings answered. Take a look at the scoring summary, just shy of the halfway point of the period. Stapleton, assisted by Eddie Olchuk, 1-0, but then the Red Wings, couple of goals in less than a minute's time. McCarty is 15th. Iserman and Airy, they changed that second assist from Lidstrom to Airy. And Kirk Maltby, his third of the year, his first as a Red Wing from Brown and Fedorov. And that's all the scoring. Not many face-offs deep in either zone. There were 9 face-offs in the neutral zone. So of the 7 that took place deep in either zone, the Red Wings with 5 wins, the Jets with only 2 face-off wins. The Red Wings with the fewer number, or the greater number of scoring chances, although they were few in the period, and that explains why. Just 4 shots for the Jets and 11 for the Red Wings, who will start the second period with 24 seconds to work on a Dave Manson minor penalty. 2-1 Wings. Back after this.
Send your package in 2 days with FedEx, and people are impressed. Cost, about $12.
Send your package in 2 days with UPS, and people are impressed. Cost, about $6.
Send your package in 2 to 3 days with priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service, and people are impressed. Cost exactly $3.
So, 12, 6, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Mail's here.
Wouldn't it be grand to get an extra $1,000 a week for life?
Yes! Mail.
It could happen with Win for Life, the Michigan Lottery's new instant game.
Mail's here. Mail's here.
Just imagine what an extra $1,000 a week could do for you. Play Win for Life and see how grand life could be.
Mail's here.
Win for Life. You keep living, we'll keep giving.
This is a UPN 50 News Update with David Scott.
Good evening. Coming away tonight after the game, a huge blaze erupted at the Marathon Oil Refinery in southwest Detroit. Neighbors were told to stay inside their homes because of toxic fumes.
North Star's is really high-tech. A report coming up.
In an update to a story you heard first on 50, what's happening to the folks living in a dilapidated, rat-infested apartment house in Highland Park. See you after the game.
The Tigers. They're back on UPN 50. It's a new team, entering a new era in Tiger baseball. The Tigers take on the American League Western Division favorites, the California Angels. Friday night at 7 on UPN 50.
Bell Tire introduces out-the-door pricing. Get the guaranteed lowest price, complete with everything included. Nobody comes close. Nobody's closer.
Bell Tire.
Well, there's 24 seconds still to be served by Dave Manson on his minor penalty. Now look at this. Yet another number to look at. The largest differential ever in league history between the first and second place team overall in the league. 26 points in the 1929-30 season. Boston won the regular season championship by that margin over the second place team. Red Wings currently 25 better than both Pittsburgh and Colorado. 15 seconds to work on this power play. Red Wings 0 for 2 with a man advantage. Fedorov hits the line. Sends it across for Fetisov. Fetisov tried to send it to Larionov. Intercepted. Stapleton cleared. Manson comes out of the box. Cross ice pass for Fedorov. Larionov waiting for a drop pass. Shot to the side of the net by Fedorov. He almost put it off the shoulder of Khabibulin.
That's exactly what he was trying to do, Dave.
Here is Larionov, leaves it for Konstantinov. Sends it deep for Fedorov. He takes a look, puts it out in front quickly. Kozlov trying to fight off the check of Dallas Drake. Left it at the point. And now it's picked up by Konstantinov. He'll send it deep into the jet zone. It ends up over the glass and out of play.
Faceoff will be in the center right zone. Just a moment ago, Dave, I was watching the far side. Dallas Drake went after Kozlov, not after him trying to get him, but watch what he does here in this play. This is the way a gentleman should play the game. He eased up on Kozlov. He could have rammed him like we see a lot of guys do and sent him headfirst into those boards. He just took a little off it, gave him a gentle love tap. No danger, no problem, and it didn't hurt Dallas Drake not to cream him into the boards.
Well,
that's sportsmanship.
Yeah, he captured the same thing with what he did that he would have doing the other thing, except he would have endangered Kozlov. Dallas Drake, of course, played 4 years of college hockey up in northern Michigan, played a year and a half in the Red Wing organization, was part of the deal that sent Tim Chevrolet to Winnipeg.
You know, and I just said that word sportsmanship. It's a word we don't use or hear much anymore in the game, the way the game's played. Especially what you saw Sunday afternoon in Chicago with anything but sportsmanship.
Manson, center ice, gives it off now for Finley, or rather Janney. Janney now to Tkachuk into the zone. Tkachuk had it tipped away. It's recovered by Yzerman. Yzerman starts it back. Got Erie over on the left side. McCarty with him as well. McCarty picks up the puck off the carom, takes it to the corner, goes to Yzerman. Off of his stick. He wanted to go back to Erie, I believe. And now McIver again, jumping up into the play, and Tkachuk offside.
Just to finish the thought, Dave, the whole point of the Drake easing up on Kozlov, the young hockey players, I'm sure, are still up. Boys and girls watching this game, you don't have to ram people into the boards head first. You can be a sportsman and still be a competitive player. That's something to keep in mind when you're putting that uniform on and playing hard to win. 18:17 to go here in the second period. 2-1 Detroit after the Jets led 1-0. Mike Stapleton the goal. Red Wings come back with a pair. Darren McCarty and Kurt Maltby, his first as a Red Wing. Two right wingers scoring for Detroit so far.
You bringing your overnight duffel bag for the game Friday night? Expect maybe 4.5 hour contest. Or will it be tame in the follow-up? A lot of times with the build-up, it's just not as rough as the initial encounter.
Look at the penalty minutes in Adirondack.
Looking for a call-up, are you?
Send the plane.
Olchuk put it right in front of Osgood, but nobody there in a blue jersey.
You're right. So many times it does cool down.
Here is Primo trying to get loose from Muni. That play is onside. Muni effectively moved Primo out of the way. Now the Jets try to clear, intercepted by Brown, sends it back toward the Winnipeg goal, intercepted by Tverdovsky. Sends it ahead now for Stapleton. He has the Jets goal. The Red Wings have a 2-1 lead. Konstantinov, center ice. Larionov pushes it ahead for Fedorov. He wheels it around. Here's Kozlov in. What a save by Khabibulin with the left pad. And what a piece of passing work by the Red Wings. Mick, I think 2 of these passes were made
blind
without the guy ever looking.
Yeah.
And Kozlov in full flight when he received it.
He did not get the puck up. That's what he's got to do here. I don't know if he really purposely didn't try to jam it hard, but he didn't have a chance, really. There's the redirection to keep it onside.
That pass.
Larionov up to Fedorov and right over to number 13. Goes to the backhander, a little flip. I don't know. He may not have fared down like you like to see a guy when he gets in one-on-one on that goaltender. Those flips don't work too often. They look great if they do, but...
Here's Larionov, centering pass. Shot save! Having Bullen with the left pad. Comes up to Kozlov. That one was blocked. Now Fetisov, hard pass intended to the corner, intercepted, and Fetisov steals it right back center ice. Now it's stripped away by Eastwood. He's checked at the line and the play offside. We are early in the second period. Red Wings with a couple of dandy chances, but Hobby Bullen, standing tall, has kept it 2-1 Detroit.
Nice tattoo. Coochie wiggle, coochie coochie. Hey, check this out. Oh, look at that. What you got?
When just a cold one isn't cold enough, call for the refreshing taste of cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
Nice tat. Is that right?
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Stay cool.
Ford and your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers are giving you more, so you pay less. Now lease a new 96 Escort 3-door LX loaded for as low as $196 a month. Now with $1,000 cash back. It's America's best-selling small car for under $200 a month. Just $196 for 24 months through Ford Motor Credit with our low-mileage lease. The great percent event rolls on. A great time to get so much more for so much less, with over 2,000 Escorts in stock to choose from. See any one of your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers today.
Back at the Joe Louis Arena, Dave Strader along with Mickey Redmond, Ray Lane, Toby Cunningham down on the truck. This game added to our UPN 50 Red Wing regular season schedule to wrap things up. Red Wings still have some business to do after tonight. They host Chicago Friday, and then they'll finish the season in Dallas. There's a drive for the blue line, but the play was offside. You know what was interesting about that replay that we saw at Kozlov? As he made the move, he was trying to get Hobby Bullen to open up, I think, and just go through the 5-hole. But you know what's interesting about Hobby Bullen? Showing great flexibility. As he did split the pads apart, he's leaning forward, and his chest practically to the ice by the time the shot came through. So
most of these young goaltenders today, Dave, are really just concentrating on taking away everything low to the ice. And that's why they're vulnerable up high. If you can get it there, basically they're saying it's yours.
Now Primo starts it up the left side. He's met by Manson, tries to get through him. Puck is there. Draper gets to it. Back to the line. Ramsey, a drive, missed the net. Now shot by Pusher was blocked. Well, we've seen all the Red Wings, not just the Russians, with that long drop pass. Hitting the late man. Here is Eastwood trying to cut in. Ramsey played him well. Now Pusher getting some help from Draper. Again, Chris Draper throwing his body around. And look out, Primo got away with interference on King. The referee, Dvorsky, was turned around, couldn't see it. Draper gets in, sends it across. Score! Oh, what a play!
Oh, here goes King after Dvorsky. I mean, the play was way back at the other end, but boy, I'm going to talk to you on the replay of Kozlov, and watch this guy shoot the puck into the open net. Oh, and I love to see that. He just drilled it. Wide open net. Watch the interference there. Just an elbow on King. Not much. Referee didn't see it. Way behind the play. Nice play by Dino. And Draper, perfect setup, but Primo really bears down and strokes it into the open net. 3-1 lead. Again, execution and timing pays off for the Red Wings. A bang-bang play.
I have a feeling if Dvorsky sees that, he kind of got spun around as the two of them were coming together. I think he calls it. He should call it. But the important thing for Primo was...
Here we go.
Penalty here.
Kachuk helped it, and there'll be an interference call to Bob Rouse.
But just to finish this up, Primo, once he saw there wasn't going to be a penalty, because he hesitated for a second, he took off, left his hand.
Yeah, coming late, and you never know, and he ends up getting a gift with a wide-open net. And Keith Primo gets his 25th on the season. But a couple of nice plays. Good touch by Dino, and a perfect pass by Draper to hit Primo in stride. Didn't have to pitch and not get along at all.
4:10, the time of the penalty on Rouse, Cicerelli, and Draper the assist. Interference to call on the Red Wing defenseman, and the Jets, boy, they have been effective against the Red Wings, Mick, on the power play. We talked about the Wings 10 for 33. The Jets have been 7 for 29 against Red Wing penalty killing. Of course, they scored 4 goals in here in one game, the game that they beat the Red Wings 6-4. We played, almost 9 minutes in the first period before the Jets got a shot. They still don't have a shot in this period. Knocked away by Yzerman, but recovered by Janney. Knocked off of his stick. Constantine to the corner. Olchuk.
Could see Eddie Olchuk back.
Yep. Back to McIver. Now to Janney. Too slow to make the decision, and the puck cleared, and somebody got hit, I think, with a skate. There he got clipped. Somebody's foot came back and hit him, but it doesn't appear that it was the blade. Seen some nasty cuts this year as a result of a skate blade. Olchuk wanted to go back to the point, but he kind of telegraphed it. Now Fedorov sends it center right. Constantino tried to put it through Newman, and I think he kind of passed to himself. Here is Janney. He is checked on the play, but it comes to Tkachuk. Tkachuk fakes a pass, walks into the faceoff circle. Now back to Newman and drives the shot. Good save, rebound, tipped away. And taken by Brown. He'll break with Fedorov. Constantino thinking about coming, but Sergei doesn't see an odd man situation. He may create one yet. 40 seconds left in the round penalty. Look at this puck control. The Wings are short a man. Now it rolls down for Hobby Bullen. Here's to the side. Red Wings trailed 1-0. Midway through the first period of this hockey game, they've scored 3 unanswered, lead it 3-1. Davidovsky is checked. Primo comes up with it. Korolev. No match for Primo. And Korolev comes out with it now as he gets it to center right. Drives it in behind. Osgood up the board. Matissov with a shove on Shannon. Now Stapleton behind the net with it. Korolev sends it out top of the circle. Manson cross ice. One-time save. Osgood rebound is cleared by Primo. Penalty to Rouse is over, so the penalty killers do the job. Davidovsky from in front of his own net, ahead for Stapleton. Stapleton has the lone Winnipeg goal. Remember, if Winnipeg were to win tonight and Anaheim lose, the Jets could clinch tonight, but Winnipeg's got some work cut out for them. Here is Draper going wide. Sends it back in front, looking for Primo. Cicerelli let it go intentionally. He thought maybe Ramsey could hold that in at the point. Now Ramsey to center ice. Dumps it in behind Hobby Bullen. Hobby Bullen goes back up the boards with it. Chris King able to backhand at center ice, but Larionov right there to intercept. Moves it quickly for Brown.
Detroit's picked it up here in the second period. They're really hustling on the loose pucks. They're supporting each other much better than the first period, and it shows with control over the Jets. Bob Rouse with a shove on Chris King. Nothing serious at all, and Rouse will go. We'll be back with the Jets power play in a moment.
Dear Dave, I'm looking for something new and a big juicy cheeseburger with the works, and if you could make it 99 cents, I'd be grateful. I got a lot of expenses. P.S. I sure love 1,000 Island dressing. I hear you loud and clear.
Introducing Wendy's 99-cent deluxe double stack. Dave stacks down 2 patties of fresh beef, a full quarter pound, American cheese, fresh toppings, and creamy 1,000 Island dressing.
Great sandwich, Dave. Why didn't I write sooner? Well, you sound pretty busy.
Wendy's 99-cent quarter pound deluxe double stack cheeseburger. Big taste, small price.
Bob Lambert took this job for some very good reasons. One of them is the benefits. Like Delta Dental. Bob's group chose Delta Dental because we manage costs and offer options from traditional plans to dental PPOs and HMO type plans. And each one delivers quality service. And that's good, because when Bob's on the job, he has other important things to worry about. Delta Dental, right where you belong.
Well, Bob Rouse did not get the penalty. Watch Cicerelli. Right there at the blue line, the right side of your screen, he had a little do-si-do on a turnaround, and he got it for, I believe, holding the stick, wasn't it? Craig Muni, the defenseman, and looked like he was going for a two-step with Craig Muni, but Rouse got away with a shove on King, and Dino goes to the box Same result, Jets on the power play.
Their second power play here in this second period. Wings killed off the first one. Constantina stepped right into Kachuk.
Got his attention, didn't he? He doesn't let anybody go, does he?
Well, you look at,
if you're in the area, boy, you're going to get hacked or whacked one way or the other.
You look at Constantinov in the locker room. I mean, he's not a thick guy. He's not a real muscular guy. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of fat on him, mind you, but he just, he plays the game as if he weighed 220 pounds.
He's hard as a rock, too. The guy, when he hits you, he hurts you.
Eiserman played it off the boards, hoping maybe for Bob Airy. Now McIver for Newman, back for McIver. He is slowed down by Eiserman. Now Kachuk.
Even short-handed, Detroit's bottling up the mid-ice area.
Could be a chance here for Eiserman with Bob Airy. They crisscross drop past Airy, winds up, lets the shot go. It's blocked. Jets clear to the line, and Ramsey will drive it right back in behind Nikolai Khabibulin. Halfway through the Cicerelli penalty already. 11:40 left here in the second period. Wings 3, the Jets 1. The Jets with 6 shots on goal. For Channing, off of his stick. Back after it now is Rouse. Rouse goes hard up the boards. Doug Brown deflects it center ice. Manson moves it now to Oleg Peverdovsky. Second player taken overall in the 94 draft by the Mighty Ducks, and he has it stripped away, and Brown racing back up the ice, lines up, drives the shot. Khabibulin just got the right pad on that. May have deflected off the stick of Manson. Brown breaks it up again. Coming up is Fetisov. Here comes Konstantinov again. Into Stapleton. That shut everything down. Just trying to get something going here with a man advantage. Peverdovsky darts into the wing zone. Drops it off. And here's the shot right through. Right shoulder save with a rebound. Stopped by Osgood. So nothing for about a minute and 50 seconds on the power play. And then a couple of bang-bang saves by Osgood to keep it at 3-1. 1 second left on the Dino penalty.
Jets are doing an awful lot of circling, but they can't get to land. That one high off the shoulder, and the rebound knocked out of midair by young Mike Stapleton again. Almost got his second of the night. With the foot behind the stick, that's the way to play it. If you got the stick on it, it would have counted if it had got through.
You doing some shopping here? What do you got?
No, I'm not shopping. I got a nice set of gifts here from some folks up in Lake Linden, it looks like.
Now, where's that? I haven't got my map with me.
Copper Country.
Got by Peverdovsky. That one's seen all the way by Osgood, and he hangs on as Rouse and King joust a bit. So stay tuned to UPN 50 after the game. The 10 o'clock news will have an exclusive interview with the player of the game, plus the rest of the day's news, including the latest on a Metro Detroit woman critically injured by a car bomb because of her husband's gambling debt. Stay tuned immediately after the game. Up in Copper Country, what do we got? Chocolate?
Country.
Homemade dressings?
Lake Linden, it says.
Well, they saw that food we got, and they figured we need to pour something on it.
Fran, I think it was, is the name on the... I can't quite read it. Smells good, I know that.
Approaching the halfway mark of this second period. Wings with a 3-1 lead, looking to tie the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens for the most wins ever in the history of the National Hockey League. This is the 70th year of Red Wing hockey. Berger into the zone. He didn't get far. Knocked to the ice. And Pusher gives it off to Lariano. Now to Maltby. Maltby checked by King. Puts it deep into the Jet zone. Peverdovsky. Trying to push it up the boards. It was knocked away by Maltby. Now Maltby again. With a hit on the defenseman Muni. And center ice taken over by Draper. Draper set up the Primo goal. Puts it deep into the Jet zone. Khabibulin. Out to Muni. He tips it down the ice. And they waved off the icing. Now a long clear up the right wing side. Cicerelli. Cicerelli sends it right in on Khabibulin. In case he had thoughts of going out to play that puck. Want to pass along a special happy birthday wish to Dan Berger, watching the game tonight on UPN 50. A huge Red Wing fan. What do we got here?
Do you believe this? One of the fans before the game handed It's a beautiful piece of hickory-cured smoked ham. I was watching all you guys get all those sweets and stuff that aren't good for you, so I got some good stuff for you.
Oh, the country ham.
That'll look good.
That'll look good on my
and, of course, the
frying pan tomorrow morning.
No, not too quick.
Too bad you won't be there. You bring the eggs and coffee.
The old standbys, the cinnamon rolls. Oh, from Carl Gust and Lori Flores, down from Northern Michigan University, Dallas Drake's area where he went to college, looking for win number 60. I want to say hi to Lori's dad, George, and Carrie, Carl's friends, Dana, Dr. Lucas, Ron Sr., and Ron Jr. Thanks, girls. And they say yeah to the UP, eh?
Now, I'll tell you what, you can have the ham. I know my boys are going to be asking where those sweet rolls are. I'll tell you that right now.
Greg Innocent just went over the balcony.
Realized that none of it was for him, that's why. 9:05 to go, second period. Wings with a 2-goal lead. Argentina lays it ahead just out of the reach of Larionov. Tempo Newman has it there. Newman had an assist in the tie in St. Louis the other night. Had a pretty good season once again. Tempo Newman, 51 points. He's been a pretty consistent 35 to 45 point scorer throughout his NHL career. And then we got an injured player down.
And no call or anything at all. It was Kozlov. You better keep his head up right now. Kozlov turns his back on Kachuk, and he got clipped in the mouth, it looks like. Accidentally. I don't think the referee saw it at all. And we'll take a break while they try to sort things out. 8:41 to go. Second period. Detroit by a pair.
FedEx has over 35,000 trucks to handle your 2-day package. Cost about $12.
UPS has over 130,000 trucks for your 2-day package. Cost about $6.
The U.S. Postal Service has over 200,000 trucks for your priority mail 2 to 3-day package. Cost exactly $3.
So, 12, 6, 3. What's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
You followed 1,000 players here. 1,000 more will follow you. Maybe someone will listen. Maybe someone will hear. And we've been working too. Brewed a new beer from the heart of the hops. It's a beer with heart that goes down easy. New Miller beer. Listen to what's inside of you. Then you can reach for what's out there.
Time for the second of our 3 clues. Who am I? Brought to you by the Wellness Plan and HMO that's good for you. This player's brother, Wayne, was the Buffalo Sabres' #1 pick in the 94 entry draft. We'll have one more clue. When you think you have the answer, put it on a postcard. Send it to Who Am I? Care of the Joe Louis Arena, 600 Civic Center Drive, Detroit, 48226.
Brother Wayne. I think I might have this one for the first time.
Here is Kachuk. Sends it across to the left of Osgood. Chopped out by Airy. Puck finally came down to the ice. Dallas Drake tried to put it out in front. Now it's back behind the Detroit goal. Janney tries to center. Knocked away by Airy. Primo couldn't get to it. Kachuk intercepted by Airy. Intercepted at the line by Muni. His shot handled by Osgood. Rebound loose in front, and Rouse very quick to clear it away. Second time tonight that the Red Wing defense has been there to help out Chris Osgood.
A crazy exchange that way. It was, I got it, you take it. I give it away, you give it away, and stopped by Osgood on the second opportunity there. The puck got away from him on the rebound, and he actually hit it with his goal paddle out past a couple of guys, but Rouse was there.
Now, just looking at this Western Conference situation again, Mick, Anaheim really, again, they're in a position with their destiny in their own hands, because right now they got 6 points left, 3 games. If they get 5 points starting tonight, they know they're in regardless of what anybody else does. So that's a lot of pressure. Now, if they can get 3 out of 4 out of these next 2 games, that'll be tonight in Colorado and home on Friday to Dallas. Vancouver does not play until Saturday night. So the pressure could be on Vancouver if Anaheim gets at least 3 points, that they have to get something.
It also may depend on what Calgary does Friday night in San Jose, because they tied with Vancouver. Or they won
yes,
up
they are. But they have
77.
They have 77, but they have 2 games left. See, Vancouver's only got the 1 game.
That's what I mean. If Calgary then was to lose to San Jose Friday, now they've got something to play for Saturday night in Vancouver.
Right. So it all is a tangled web, but Anaheim has to feel good about one thing. I'm sure that's what Ron Wilson is telling his club. You know, we can't worry about watching the scoreboard because, as you pointed out, they've got no breaks in the last 10 days. If they simply get their points, win their games, they're going to be in.
Played about as well as they can.
Oh, I guess they have.
Really have.
Pass broken up by Ramsey. The Jets, 4 shots in the first, and it's 6 here in the second for a total of 10. Red Wings with only 15. Puck rolling loose out near the Jets line as Avi Bullen tried to take a swing at Cicerelli behind the play. McIver drops it back for Korolev. His pass intercepted. Cicerelli has got Draper with him. 1, now 2 Winnipeg players back here as Draper winds up. He's left alone for the shot. Avi Bullen the save, and he collects the rebound before Cicerelli could get a stick on it. I guess that's the way the goaltender would want. Excuse me, Mick. That, you know, if you're going to go to somebody, go to the guy that doesn't have the puck and leave the shooter to me.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. You take the pass away. Let me handle the shooter. I mean, you don't want to give a guy a free lane to the net and have a breakaway, but you know, that's 35, 40 feet out. There's the record you're talking about. 76-77, 19 years ago. Larry Robinson of the Montreal Canadiens set that record. And there is the points to go along with it. 132. Red Wings cannot get to 132.
Of course, they did it in an 80-game season. Lost only 8. That is incredible.
It sure is, isn't it?
It was interesting, Larry Robinson's comment that the wins and the points that the Red Wings are getting in this league, he feels are tougher points and tougher wins to get because of the parity. And I would have thought with all the expansion and a lot of talk that the game's diluted in some ways would have made the record tougher to achieve in the year that the Montreal Canadiens did it. But there were some weak teams then. And I guess with the influx of the last 3 or 4 years in particular of a lot of European talent, top-notch European players, maybe the league isn't as diluted as you would think with all the teams that have been added. But it was an interesting comment by Larry Robinson because he would have, I would have thought favored his club.
Well, they had
accomplishment, but I was being honest. And
speaking to Rejan Hull and some folks at the Montreal Forum this morning, and big hit by Maltby, and I got sent freeze there, and here comes the retaliation. The game by game Canadiens record that year, and they had a couple of wipeouts like Detroit did with the Canadiens 11-1. They had a couple of big 10-2, 10-1, 11-1 games. But I added up their goals against the way it happened for them. I think they were 49 times out of the 80 games they held the opposition to 2 or less. And the Red Wings coming into tonight, 54 times. There was Maltby with the original hit, and he got smoked by Muni after that. So Fedorov nailed somebody too. Quite the spinorama. There's Fedorov knocked Muni down in his can. Scott, he's really interested in all that, isn't he? Like, when do the playoffs start?
Well, it's Finley and Maltby that go off.
There was a classic.
It is Jeff Finley, the defenseman, in the box for the Jets, and Kirk Maltby for the Red Wings. These coincidental penalties coming at 13:35 of the second period. Catch any of the baseball game on UPN 50 yesterday?
Did a little bit, yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Tigers had a couple of... They won today again. 10-9, ended up 10-9 yesterday, and win today again. So 2 in a row at home. It's a good start in front of...
A little warmer today.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Good to see the fans come out as they did for the opener, and
supposed to be warmer tomorrow and Friday.
Kaprizov had it knocked away by Tkachuk. Tkachuk trying to break down with Janney. Janney, look out. He is crushed at the line by Konstantinov. Tkachuk with the
cross check. I mean, that
was a clean hit by Konstantinov.
It looked like it.
And in a way, I'm surprised that they blew the whistle.
Yeah,
because, the Wings had a 3-on-2 the other way. And we saw this in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. Where Paul Coffey was down with a a minute to go in regulation, and they allowed the play to continue because the Devils had full control, even though it was apparent that Coffey wasn't going to get up.
Well, I mean, you would think probably that Janney's got his bell rung and his wind knocked out of him. He got caught.
Very clean hit. Elbows down, and got him with the shoulder. I can't believe he didn't see him.
His shoulder ends up, it does hit Janney on the side of the head, the shoulder, but the arms and the elbows were down. Here was the retaliation cross-check by Tkachuk on Konstantinov. I think Janney will be okay. He just going to shake the cobwebs out a little bit. Scotty says, who got the penalty? He wasn't. Dvorsky didn't have his hand up for a call against Konstantinov.
Well, it was a clean hit.
But, well, we'll see what happens here. They got 2 up for Tkachuk.
I think that's going to be it.
Take a different angle look at this. Here's Janney looking back. It's too late now. Boom. He got melted. You don't come through that center ice area, boy, with anybody, let alone number 16 on the ice. Put your head down for long and don't expect to get hit, especially when you're handling the puck.
The way that angle looked, it looked like he should have seen Konstantinov. I mean, unless his eyes were really just focused down to the ice. I mean, he was sort of turned that way. And
you know, usually you can smell a guy coming like that, but
right there, I guess he
did have his head down. He had his head looking the other way, waiting for the pass. It was like a suicide pass. It came too slow.
So we get a 4-on-3 power play for 1:47 seconds. 6:12 to go here in the second period.
Barry Smith says that Konstantinov, pound for pound, may be the toughest guy he's ever coached. But this guy is a warrior.
Eiserman into the zone. Takes the drop pass to Lidstrom. Sends it to the corner for Fedorov. That's what you win Stanley Cup championships with, warriors. You saw that with the Devils last year. Cross ice, Eiserman. Couldn't shoot it. Now sends it in front. Javi Bullet just covers up and the Jets clear. Osgood quickly center ice. Lidstrom there. Jets wanted to change. They don't have time to do it. Fedorov pushed it ahead, but Newman is there to eventually clear it down into the wing zone. Now the Jets can make a change. Minute left in the 4-on-3 power play. Fedorov across the line. His pass was tipped by Newman. And look at the knocked down by Eiserman to keep it in the zone. Anthony had all kinds of room to clear, failed to do it. On to Lidstrom. Back to Eiserman. They'll look for the one-timer toward the net. Javi Bullen the save as it just squirted out the near side. 5 minutes straight up left in the second period. Half a minute left now on the 4-on-3. Eiserman, Cicerelli, along with Nicholas Lidstrom. Cicerelli, and he chipped it just wide. He was checked at the last second. Hansen hollering at Dvorsky. Thought he was interfered by Cicerelli. Out to Lidstrom. Back to Eiserman. Now to Fedorov, right between the 3 Winnipeg players. Back to Fedorov again. A shot. He's knocked down. Jets fail to clear. They don't get it by Lidstrom. Lidstrom got Drake to back off. Lidstrom to Eiserman. Back to Cicerelli. Scores! Tic-tac-toe! And it's 4-1.
Does it get any better than that? My, oh my. That is pretty to watch. Now there's the puck being retrieved by Eiserman. Cicerelli gets the goal. I believe Eiserman and Fedorov will get the assist. Now, was that an example of patience and experience or what? I mean, just like you do it on a drawing board, and with 4:24 to go in the second, they're well on the way to tying the record of 60 wins. They're up now 4-1 here. With absolute remarkable patience shown by Eiserman, Fedorov, and Lidstrom, and Dino. Boy, oh boy.
It's a 3-goal lead for the Wings. Next,
make it look easy.
Here is Tkachuk, side of the net. Olchuk wanted to put it in front, but it was blocked by Larionov. Now Kozlov to center ice. Carries into the jet zone, gives it off to McCarty. McCarty tried to dump it in front. It's blocked up into the crowd and out of play. Cicerelli on the power play from Yzerman and Lidstrom. It's a 4-1 Red Wing lead.
Joe Dumars for your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers.
So what's my idea of a winning team? Guys who go all out to get the job done. You know, do whatever it takes. True pros in every sense of the word. Like your Metro Detroit Ford dealers.
Your Metro Detroit Ford dealers welcome Joe Dumars to their winning team. The only place where you'll find 5 of America's very best.
Make that 6. See your Metro Detroit Ford dealer today. Now that's my kind of team.
Attitude. It's a given. It's the way it makes you feel. It's the lift that you get. It's a rhythm in your step. 'Cause it's cool and it's wonderful and it's lemon and lime. It's an up thing. Does it every time. Yeah, it's an up thing. It's clear and it's wonderful and it's totally fine. Hey, it's an up thing. It's an up thing.
Unless you get another point. Back live at Joe Louis Arena. 4-1 Detroit. 3:57 to go in the second period. Red Wings putting on a passing clinic again. And there you have it. Dino Cicerelli, 1,100 points in a glorious career. And he would give every one of those points to take Stanley Cup home this year.
Here's a chance that Javi Bola made a good stop on Maltby, bidding for his second goal. With a goal and an assist here tonight. Maltby given one bump by Kilger and then a second one. 3.5 remaining second period. Newman jumped it ahead. It was blocked, and McKenzie in there offside on the play.
Plus-minus leaders in the National Hockey League. Konstantinov, the top of the list, 59. Fedorov, 46. And Fetisov all in a row. And Peter Nedved of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What a turnaround year he's had.
No kidding.
We're not happy with him at all with St. Louis Blues. He has found a home with the Penguins, playing very well in that system.
Oh, look out. Woo! Big-time elbow by McKenzie on Fetisov, and also somebody else is down. Boy.
You got Fetisov.
Oh, boy. Is that Larionov? I didn't see that one. I saw McKenzie go after Fetisov, and it looked like Dvorsky was going to call a penalty there. Okay, I think we've got them both on film here. Let's take a look. Number 2, middle of your screen. Here comes McKenzie. Boom! He nailed him with a left elbow, big time. That could be a major penalty. And here comes Larionov in the middle. He got hit by the big guy. Oh, it's Manson. Yeah, coming in from the point. Although I didn't see how he got him. He may have cross-checked him on the arm. And here's Fetisov again. Look at that head snap back. Boy, did McKenzie ever catch him. That could be a major penalty and a game misconduct for that kind of a flying elbow like that. He didn't disguise it.
No, not at all.
And you got Paul Boyers out there, and the guy on the left is Sergei Manatsakanov, the Russian masseur. And he does other things other than that, obviously. He's probably speaking Russian there to Fetisov and trying to find out what's wrong with him. And
well, McKenzie should be done for the game. I mean, it was pretty blatant.
And there goes Larionov. He's gone to the Red Wing dressing room, and he's limping.
And Manson is really hearing it from Scotty.
Yeah. No, I did not see Manson hit Larionov on the leg. The replay we had, it looked like he hit him up high. And it is a 5-minute major penalty to Jim McKenzie.
Well, it's 16-47.
Now, it's just a major and not a game. He's going out with only 3:13 to go in the second. And I did not hear game misconduct on that. Just a major penalty was called.
5 minutes for Red Wing plus 10-minute misconduct penalty.
We get a 10-minute misconduct in addition to the elbow.
10. That's strange.
16:47. And Manson. So Manson gets nothing.
The Kaprizov's really groggy. Watch the elbow come up here. He makes the pass. He's not looking. He can't defend himself. Left elbow.
Wow.
Boom. Right in the jaw.
That is awful.
I mean, you can knock a guy out cold with something like that.
Yeah.
Larionov has gone to the Red Wing dressing room. He was knocked down at the same time by Manson.
And there was no penalty on that.
No. Oh, I couldn't tell how he may have hurt his leg when he went down.
He did skate off under his own power, which I guess is a good sign. Here is Eiserman into the zone.
Get the choppers starting to go here now, boys. You better keep your head up.
Fedorov drives a high shot. Hobby Bull in the save. Here is Eiserman with it. Back down to Fedorov. I can't believe that Dvorsky didn't throw McKenzie out, because that's only going to lead to more problems in the third period, Mick. Lidstrom with a drive. Hobby Bull in the save.
Watch Dino in front of Hobby Bull, and they're going at it. Dino's taking a whipping from... Now look at Hobby Bull and Dino nose to nose. Game's still going on. Now he let him go. There's no reason to stop the play.
Nothing happening yet.
No. Here, look at... I mean, Winnipeg is an obvious turn of events here. Now that it's 4-1, Winnipeg is just throwing every elbow they can at every Red Wing now. Dino's camping in his spot. There's a two-hander by Hobby Bullen. Punch in the back of the head with the blocker. Dino stands right there. Look at the move. Oh, what a pest he can be. He just won't move. He won't go away. And now he turns around and gives Hobby Bullen a piece of his mind. You don't have to speak English to understand what Dino's saying. Hobby Bullen, of course, a Russian descent.
Hobby Bullen played 3 years with the Central Red Army program. Sprained a knee ligament earlier this year, back in late November against St. Louis. Was out for a period of time, but since he has come on and established himself as the #1 guy, the Jets have since traded former Red Wing Tim Chevrolet to the Flyers in exchange for Dominic Roussel, who's now the backup goalie. That was reminiscent of the '93 playoffs. Felix Potvin, a young goaltender for Toronto, and Dino, the first 2 games of this building especially, just had Potvin all flustered. And to Potvin's credit, he came back and was one of the big reasons that the Leafs came back and upset the Red Wings in that series.
Well, I tell you, this is 2 games in a row now that there's a lot of real nasty stuff going on, and you can tell the playoffs are right around the corner.
Here is Eiserman, sends it across. Knocked away and cleared by the Jets. There's under 4 minutes left in the major penalty to McKenzie. Just over 2 minutes left here. As Tkachuk and Konstantinov come together. Lidstrom drives it around the boards behind Hobby Bullen. McCarty deflected with a skate. Tverdovsky tries to clear. Good vertical leap displayed there by Lidstrom to hold it in. Here's Airy with it now. Red Wing power play will settle it down. Back to the line for Lidstrom. Bouncing puck gets it to Eiserman. Moves it in deep. McCarty going after it. Hobby Bullen gave him a bump, but McCarty gets to it.
Good. Different rules for different players. Right there.
Eiserman out to the line. Lidstrom. Little flip pass. Eiserman working hard against Tverdovsky, and Tverdovsky finally got the clear. Konstantinov up the middle. Wide open. Kozlov big shoots. Hobby Bullen just got enough of it. It went wide, and McCarty with a big hit on Finley. Konstantinov holds it in. McCarty gets to it. McCarty, good shift with the puck. Kozlov tried to dump it.
That's thinking that down this game's over with. It's 4-1, and they'll move on. And let's just get some of our licks back in. Konstantinov drills Janney. I mean, that may have been the check that started the whole thing out. And Finley heads to the dressing room. Is Primo already gone? I think so.
already an extra 2 minutes up on the board for the Winnipeg Jets, who still showed 2:48 remaining in the major penalty to Jim McKenzie with 1:01 left here in the second period. The Jets still with 10 shots on goal, Megan. It seems like they've had that for about the last 6 minutes or so on the clock. Wings comfortably in front 4-1. If you don't mind teams or individuals trying to deliver a message or say, hey, here's what you're going to get down the road, but situations like the McKenzie elbow, swinging sticks like Hobby Bullen, I don't know. I mean, it's you're really taking a chance of seriously injuring somebody. And
well, there's probably a lot of teams out there hoping the Red Wings have a lot of tough games down the stretch.
No question about that.
That fight that Primo just had, you know, that he looked like he pulled his hand back there one time after he whacked Finley in the back of the head. And that's the last thing you needed, him to break a finger or something like that in a fight.
Get the call from Bud Lynch.
Number 26, Jeff Finley, 2 minutes for instigating, 5 minutes for fighting, and a game misconduct. Number 28, Craig Muni, 5 minutes for fighting, and a game misconduct. Winnipeg's number 7, Keith Kachuk, 5 minutes for fighting, and a game misconduct. Detroit penalties. Number 55, Chief Primo, 2 minutes for roughing, 5 minutes for fighting. Number 15, Mike Ramsey, 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. Detroit's number 25, Darren McCarty, 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct.
So, Dave, they give 5 minute fighting and game misconduct to the two fights that started after Primo and Finley.
Right.
Now, even though Finley got a game misconduct for instigating that fight with Primo because he tackled him. So we've got a bit of a break. They haven't dropped the puck yet. Still kind of figuring things out. Let's go downstairs, ice level, where Harry Hairston is standing by. Harry?
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. And Mickey, here's what's happening tonight. Following this exciting action here on your 10 o'clock news right after the game, Ray Lane will have the player of the game right here, first on 50, so you won't want to miss that. Also, we're going to tell you about an oil refinery that exploded today in southwest Detroit. Hundreds are confined to their homes. We'll have a live report for you. And that woman from Highland Township, her car blew up in Toledo. Well, it's alleged that her husband owed thousands of dollars in gambling debt. Those stories and much more tonight on your 10 o'clock news immediately following the game. Back upstairs.
All right. Thank you, Harry. We'll be looking forward to that. And as Mick pointed out, 3 Jets gone. Finley for the instigation, Muni and Kachuk for fights after the original fight. Ramsey and McCarty gone for fights after the original fight, the playoff side. The Red Wings right now with a 5-on-3 power play for a full 2 minutes, Mick.
Yeah, McKenzie still with 2:40 to go in his major for the elbow to Fetisov, and players always like to have more room on the bench, but they wouldn't like to have it for the reason that the Red Wings have. They've only got 8 guys over there on the Red Wing bench with 6 on the ice. It's 14 guys, and Primo, of course, he's in the dressing room with a major. And Larionov went off hurt, and I'm not sure about Fetisov, if he's on the bench or not. I don't think he is.
Better off across for Lidstrom. He'll take it deep, drops it back now for Kozlov. Back to Lidstrom. Lidstrom sends it out top. Fedorov has it there. 2-man advantage. Fedorov moves it now to Yzerman. Yzerman top of the circle. Back to Fedorov to Lidstrom. They'll try to set up Lidstrom for a one-timer. Or Kozlov here just over top of the net. 4-1. Red Wings lead the Jets with half a minute left in the period. Fedorov a long drive. Hobby Bullen the save. Big rebound up in the air. It comes to Manson. Manson fights off the check of Cicerelli and just did get it off. Fedorov to center ice. Fedorov enters the zone. Took the hit from Manson. It goes to Cicerelli now. Fedorov going back out to the line. Yzerman gets it to him. 8 seconds left to Lidstrom. Lidstrom sends it across. Tipped away off of Cicerelli. Yzerman tries to get it in front. And the period will end before the Wings can get another pop at Nikolai Hobby Bullen. Well, Ray Lane better put on his helmet and his gear because one of the Jets is coming in to visit him, Dallas Drake, the former Red Wing. That cooler heads, we hope, will prevail. Red Wings with a 4-1 lead over the Jets, closing in on win number 60. Back in a moment.
biggest sporting event of the year is going on now at Meijer. It's a sale for all sports, all seasons. It's the Meijer $1 Million Sporting Goods Sale.
Get a Huffy Tough 44-inch Slam all-in-one adjustable backboard for just $99.99. It easily adjusts from 7 to 10 feet. And get Huffy men's and ladies 26-inch Rock Slide bikes, 10-speed index shifting, professionally assembled for just $89.99.
Save during the $1 Million Sporting Goods Sale. This week only at Meijer. Don't miss it.
Ray Lane, he's the dean. It's just that simple. He's the main man in Detroit sports television.
The players, the owners, the fans, they all trust Ray. He really knows our teams and what's happening behind the scenes, in the locker room.
Ray has this great gift. He can talk to anybody. He knows how to ask the right questions of the key people at the right moments. And you know how he does it? He's a fan.
David Scott, Amir Jacobson, and Ray Lane. That's teamwork on UPN 50's 10 o'clock news.
We're into the future.
The future of car rental savings is easier now at Avis. Introducing the new Super Value Package from the employee owners of Avis. This low prepaid package rate includes loss and damage protection, child safety seats, free unlimited miles, and your first tank of gas, so there's no refueling charge. All in one low weekly rate. Ask your travel agent or Avis for our Super Value Package and save.
Trying harder than ever, Avis. Come on, see how. Trying harder.
If you're spending a dime a minute to call Canada on weekends, you're spending too much. Because right now with AT&T, you can spend just 9 cents a minute and call anywhere in Canada all weekend long for 6 whole months. Plus, AT&T guarantees you'll save 25% on U.S. calls when you spend just $25 a month. Just call 1-800-272-WORLD to enroll. Hey, why spend a dime with Sprint when you can spend just 9 cents with AT&T? That's your true choice. AT&T.
C-O-L-A, cola is really great.
Snapple wants to get something straight. We have nothing against cola. The number 1 and 2 drinks in the world are both cola.
We love cola.
So why make over 40 flavors but no cola? We figured cola was covered. Besides, we want to be number 3, which leaves us free to offer, with all due respect, a few other choices.
Go cola.
Snapple, made from the best stuff on earth.
Intermission update brought to you by Taco Bell, featuring 2 new bacon double-decker tacos.
And we're back at Joe Louis Arena after the 2 periods of play. Red Wings leading by a score of 4-1. Yeah, he's not an older face, but a former face of the Red Wing uniform, and it just seems like a couple of years ago, and it doesn't seem that long that Dallas Drake was skating for the Red Wings. But you're probably having your finest career so far since turning pro.
Well, the last month, things have really gone well for me. I'm playing with Kachuk and Johnny, and the pucks seem to be going in for me lately, and I'm getting a lot of ice time, so it's a lot of fun right now.
Dave and Mickey, just before the close of the second period, saying, hey, when these 2 teams got together, it was a good hockey game, and it wasn't as chippy or violent as we're seeing tonight. But I guess we're all, both sides, playing for marbles, huh?
Yeah, they're playing for the 60th win. We're trying to make the playoffs, and you never know. We might beat them in the first round, and, we're not really, we're not in the hockey game right now, but we're trying to send a little bit of message that it's going to be a physical game if we do meet them.
Couple of games left. Got Los Angeles Friday night, then you finish it up at Anaheim. What is, I guess you have your own destiny in your hands in your hockey clubs right now.
I think so. I think if we win our 2 hockey games, we're going to be in the playoffs, and we can possibly move up a couple spots. It'd be nice not to play Detroit in the first round and try and build a little bit by playing somebody else, but if we have to play Detroit, so be it, and right now, like you said, our destiny's in our own hands.
Take us to this game now. 2-1 after 1 period of play, and then a couple of goals. A breakdown, you think, or lucky?
Well, they're obviously a great hockey team. Their 4th goal is, 5-on-3, and you're not going to stop them very often when they got a 5-on-3, but we didn't play very well in the second period. Obviously, Nicky played well, I think, and we just got to try and stay out of the penalty box and, try and attack them somehow.
When you look at the next 2 games, how much pressure on you guys?
No, I don't think we should put any pressure on ourselves. We should be excited about playing in games like these. Playing against LA at home, I think if we win a hockey game, we can almost secure a playoff spot, and then we got to go to Anaheim, and it's going to be a battle there for who knows what spot. So it's a lot of fun right now.
If you folks joined us a little bit late, Dallas on the ice. I think this was the first period, wasn't it? And you still take a little punishment if you still dish it out, kid.
Yeah, I take a lot of punishment. I'm not a very big guy, but I get my share of licks in, and I'm sure there'll be a few more bodies flying out there in the third.
Primo still misses you.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's having a great year. He's a great player, and, it'd be nice to be here sometimes, but I'm happy where I am.
Hey, listen, glad to see you again. Everybody's glad to see you, and the people that might be watching us up there in northern Michigan, they remember you, baby.
I'd like to say hi to everybody if it's on up there.
Hey, I'm glad you did. Dallas Drake, I think we might be seeing you still in that first round. Thanks a lot, Dallas.
So, thanks, sir.
4-1 our score. Hey, there's a ringing out there. You know what it's for? Taco Bell.
That's right.
Forget typical. Say goodbye to the usual too. And take the road less traveled. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell. Let's head for the border. Taco Bell, it's time. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell.
Back at Joe Louis Arena, 4-1 after 2 periods of play. The Red Wings on top as they try to go for that record-tying mark of 60 wins in one season, held by the Montreal Canadiens of 76-77. Oh, yes. Today, the Red Wings announced that the Stanley Cup playoff tickets for the first 2 rounds will go on sale this Friday, 10 a.m. And in that, they are $38, $25, must be purchased in 8-game packages. This Friday, we're coming right back. Dave and Mickey standing by. Now this time out.
Intermission Update has been brought to you by Taco Bell, featuring 2 new bacon double-decker tacos.
Ford and your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers are giving you more, so you pay less. Now lease a new 96 Escort 3-door LX loaded for as low as $196 a month, now with $1,000 cash back. It's America's best-selling small car for under $200 a month. Just $196 for 24 months through Ford Motor Credit with our low-mileage lease. The Great Percent event rolls on. A great time to get so much more for so much less, with over 2,000 Escorts in stock to choose from. See any one of your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers today.
With the Shell MasterCard from Chase, there's a payoff once a month, not once a year like some cards. Every 30 days, you can get free Shell gasoline. You don't have to wait years for it to amount to something. So don't waste time on other cards. Get the Shell MasterCard from Chase. Look for an offer in the mail or pick up an application at a Shell station.
Weekends, I mow till noon, trim at 2, mulch at 3. So when I need 18 bags of mulch, I need a store that has them. HQ has this policy, a long list of garden supplies. Soil, tools, spreaders, my mulch. They promise we'll never be out of stock. Or you get a coupon for 20% off, and you know they won't let that happen. Always water at 438 Shop.
Hey, it's more than a yard. It's your own little piece of the planet. Make the most of it.
He travels for days to the farthest reaches of South America. He carefully selects only the finest beans. And after they're roasted to perfection, only then will you hear him say,
"Time to make the coffee."
Dunkin' Donuts coffee, brewed fresh all day long.
Now get $1 off when you take home a pound of our delicious coffee, only at Dunkin' Donuts.
Guests on Red Wing Hockey receive the Casio G-Shock watch, built to withstand just about any shock imaginable. This is a UPN 50 News Update with David Scott.
Good evening. Tonight on the UPN 50 10 o'clock news, folks in the southwest Detroit neighborhood are urged to stay locked inside their homes because of dangerous fumes from a refinery fire.
Hi, I'm Harry Harrison at the Alumni Room at the Joe Louis Arena. Who better to ask about the Red Wings now compared to that 76 Montreal team but former Red Wing great? I'll have them coming up after the game.
And a warning, don't try a natural high from the herbal ecstasy. We'll tell you why after the game.
Back at the Joe Louis Arena, Dave Strader along with Mickey Redmond. The Red Wings lead the Jets by a score of 4-1, and they'll enjoy a 5-on-3 advantage when the third period starts. Both benches a little bit short because of the melee we had that all started, I guess, with the Konstantinov hit on Janney, which ironically, out of all the nonsense that's gone on, was probably the cleanest hit that happened. But because it was Vladdy and because it was a star player for the Jets in Craig Janney, the Jets reacted as you might expect. But the Red Wings, Mick, after not being real sharp, especially in their own end, for about a 5-minute stretch, I guess, midway through the first period really have shut the Jets down. The Jets have 10 shots on goal for the game. That's it. Not many scoring chances.
We're going to look at both goals in the second period scored by the Red Wings. And the first one by Primo, he may have got away with an interference deep in the Red Wing zone right here. A little bit of a check on King. He embellished it as well. But Primo then took off, came late, that the Red Wings like to do and have done so often this year. Good hands by Cicerelli and Draper on the perfect pass. Primo doesn't break stride, and he bears down as well around the net. And even when you've got an open net, boy, not a place where you want to be just love tapping them. You got to drill them in there, and the big guy did that to make it 3-1. Later in the period, Red Wings on a 5-on-3, and boy, they put the tic-tac-toe to work here. Lidstrom to Yzerman, to Cicerelli. Habibulin way out of position, thinking Yzerman's going to one-time it, and they execute it perfectly. And Dino Cicerelli is the recipient of the final pass and his 1,100th point in an illustrious career that isn't over yet. But again, an example, David, of the tic-tac-toe and the patience and the thought that these guys could be such an experienced team to go with that patience and execution that the Jets don't look good on that one. It's 4-1 after 40 minutes. We'll be back with much more in the third period after this.
When the tire store guy says just $49.99, ask them if that's the real price or their suck-you-in price. Yeah, they'll tell you one price, then charge you extra for valve stems, balancing, putting the tires on your car. Like, where did they think I was going to put them? Hey, go to Bell Tire for out-the-door pricing. It's the total price, everything. No extras ever. Look, ask if they have out-the-door pricing. If they say nope, tell them where to go.
Bell Tire. Nobody comes close, nobody's closer.
Less than a minute, 16 down. This one is over.
Hey, it ain't over until the fat lady sees.
Hey, wait a minute. That's Larry Bird.
Don't believe it. Believe it. Bring it in.
Bird is in. Bird for three. Bird dunks.
Bird dunks?
Of course, he's in the zone. What a comeback.
When you've got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Oh, cue that fat lady.
Red Wing Hockey brought to you by Miller Lite. You can expect great things from the great taste that's never watered down. By the 31 Metro Detroit quality Ford dealers. By Bell Tire's American Car Care Centers. By Arbor Drugs, come see the difference. And by Little Caesars new stuffed crust pizza and stuffed crust crazy bread combo. Carry out or deliver.
Back at the Joe Louis Arena, this game not expected to be a long one like the game in Chicago or what Friday night's game might be, but it's turned into that. Things were pretty mild when Keith Primo scored to give the Red Wings a 3-1 lead at 3:58. Dino on the power play goal late in the period. That was after most of the nonsense, or before most of the nonsense had happened as well, as all the penalties came at 18:59 with the game misconducts and whatnot. And take a look at the faceoffs again. Not all that many deep in either zone. Scoring opportunities now 11-4 for Detroit. The power play 1 for 4, but the Red Wings will start with nearly a minute of a 5-on-3 in the third period, and the hits pretty evenly distributed between the two clubs. The shots 11 in each period for the Red Wings, 4 in the first, 6 in the second for the Jets. Red Wings with a 4-1 lead. We'll be back with third period action after this.
Do you feel safe driving your car?
Sure do.
Now, I know you've got all the things you think you'll need. But what if something unexpected happens? Then you'll need this safety feature, the Pick Up and Go Cellular Safety Pack from Ameritech. For just $19.95 a month, you get a free portable phone, airtime, and service. Act now and get up to 10 hours of free local airtime plus up to $10 of Ameritech Cellular long distance. Who would have thought peace of mind could be so affordable?
Thank you.
Pick Up and Go Cellular only from Ameritech. Your link to better communication.
All across the country, America loves pasta. And right now, right in your neighborhood, Applebee's is dishing it up just the way America likes it. Jambalaya pasta with a touch of New Orleans spice. Smothered Tuscan chicken with a dash of Italian cheese. The light, fresh attitude of Veggie Patch Pizza. And plenty of Applebee's-style fun. Welcome to Pasta Americana right now at Applebee's. Pasta with an all-American accent.
We're America's favorite neighbor, Applebee's.
Back at the Joe Louis Arena, both teams out on the ice. As many players that are still left. Just checking to see if Jim McKenzie, yes, he is over in the Jets penalty box. And we also want to point out, too, that Martin Lapointe, who did start the game, played a couple of shifts, as I recall, and we had not seen Marty since the first period. Apparently is not going to return. We don't know the nature exactly of what happened to him, but apparently hurt in the first period. We do know that Craig Janney suffered a mild concussion from the collision with Konstantinov, and he will not be back.
And it looks like there's Primo. He's back in the penalty box, major penalty. It looks like Fetisov has returned from the dressing room. And Larionov also is out on the ice on this 5-on-3, so that's good news. We're trying to get this guy's all over the place here. Trying to get a count on who's there, who's not there. And you get the Janney report?
Yes. Okay. And here is Lidstrom now again. 5-on-3 to start this period for the Wings. Fedorov gains the line. Gets it across now for Lidstrom. Winds up, tries the shot. Hobby Bullen out to challenge, made the stop, and it's cleared. Even as well as Lidstrom shoots the puck, you want to get a better chance than that at 5-on-3, unless you do have somebody there for a rebound. The Red Wings didn't have anybody. Eisenman drops it back. Lidstrom gets it off now to Fedorov. Fedorov to Lidstrom. Quickly back to Fedorov. Drives a shot at the net. Save. Rebound. Knocked out of midair by McIver, I believe, and it's up on top of the net. Wow. Cicerelli was there. Norm McIver was there, and it ends up on top of the net.
Here's a look at that action a moment ago. I think Hobby Bullen got a piece of Cicerelli. He pulled it back, chipped it towards the net, and Hobby Bullen got the blocker on it. I think we've got a count finally, Dave, on what's going on. Another look at it. Rebound, pull it up front, Dino. Right off the stick, up in the air. And that may have been Larionov's stick that popped that thing up on top of the net. And that's why the faceoff's coming outside the zone.
Yeah, it must have been.
Exactly. We got 17 guys with Primo in the box. Lapointe, I believe, done for the night.
Right.
And 2 guys thrown out of the game, Ramsey and McCarty. So that accounts for the 20 dress to begin the night, 7:30.
5-on-4 now. With the time remaining now, just the major penalty to McKenzie, who also has to serve his 10-minute misconduct. Here is Eiserman, rips a shot over the glove of Hobby Bullen. Left point, it's taken by Nicholas Lidstrom. Sends it back deep for Cicerelli. Ellis Drake after it, chops at it, and Olchuk will finish the job, clears it down the ice. 20 seconds left. I believe Chad Kilger is in the Winnipeg box serving the major penalty for McKenzie, so he'll be the guy to come out. Red Wings with goals tonight from McCarty and Maltby in the first period, Primo, and then Cicerelli on the power play in the second. Tisov held onto the puck. Now drives it back in wide to Hobby Bullen. Teams are back at full strength. Hansen from behind his own net. Sends it ahead. It's off a stick. Intercepted by Draper. Tried to go to Airy. Just out of his reach. Up the boards, Draper able to hold it in, given a shove by Kilger, and the Jets able to send it back center ice. Konstantinov has it there. He lifts it high in the air, back into the Jets zone. Draper trying to get in. Maltby with a hit on Manson, and we're going to have a penalty.
Just flashing call.
You know, the Red Wings were looking for an interference call there and trying to get in on the forecheck, and I think when one of the Red Wing players could not get through, he may have swung the stick in frustration. As we get to our final clue, Mick, Who Am I, brought to you by the Wellness Plan, an HMO that's good for you. During the 95 season, this player's plus 17 rating was second best on the Red Wing team. I think you have the answer. Put it on a postcard to Who Am I? Care of the Joe Louis Arena, 600 Civic Center Drive, Detroit, 48226.
You got the stamp? I'll send it in.
There you go.
I think I got this one.
All right.
Of course, I've thought that before.
Well, you know, I almost said you don't need 2 tickets to a future Red Wing game, but you know what? You do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I want to send out very special congratulations to Dina and Ken Middlebrun of Troy. 10 days ago, they had their first addition to the family, baby boy Corey. Mother and son and husband.
his father, all doing well. Flashing on Draper at 2:18 of the third period, so the Jets, with just their third power play, there you see what they've done so far. 0 for 2 with 4 power play shots. Osgood out of the net, puts it hard around the glass. Good job by Newman, and he's going to stick on it to hold it in for Winnipeg. Now Lidstrom moves it up the boards, and Airy able to clear it out through center ice. Rouse and Newman is going after it. Newman got there just ahead of Rouse, and the Jets will turn back up ice, trailing 4-1. You know, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim are keeping an eye on this game. Osgood nearly stuck behind the net.
He was going to cheat, wasn't he?
Yep.
I think he was going to the back wall.
Yes, he was. Bullen with a save. Again, the Wings threatening shorthanded. Philadelphia. Is that a correct score? Philadelphia 3-0 over Jersey.
That's the only score I've got. I haven't got anything else to go by.
Okay, the reason I asked is I thought New Jersey was the team that was up 1-0. It is now 4-0 Flyers. Wow. Oh, you think Tampa Bay will have some extra incentive? They're 1-1 in Florida against the Panthers.
New Jersey wins a tie with Tampa Bay for that last playoff spot.
Yes, they do. It's the same record. Flyers playing tonight their second game without Eric Lindros with a calf injury. That game, I believe, in New Jersey. Yes. Martin Brodeur was replaced by Corey Schwab.
Great races in both conferences.
And Philadelphia looking to move within a point of Pittsburgh for the top spot overall in the East. I mean, that isn't settled yet.
Penguins are down 3-1 to the Islanders, and they just lost 5-4 to Hartford the other night. So, struggling a little bit here.
Red Wing back in full strength, but here's a chance for Korolev. I believe that got through, and Osgood the save. Now it comes back out. Stapleton, a shot tipped in front of Osgood, and it ends up over the glass and out of play. We're early in the third. Wings with a 4-1 lead.
Joe Dumars for your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers.
So what's my idea of a winning team? Guys will go all out to get the job done. You know, do whatever it takes. True pros in every sense of the word. Like your Metro Detroit Ford dealers.
Your Metro Detroit Ford dealers welcome Joe Dumars to their winning team. The only place where you'll find 5 of America's very best.
Make that 6. See your Metro Detroit Ford dealer today. Now that's my kind of team.
Stay there, boy.
Hey, I'll go get the beer.
When just a cold one isn't cold enough, crack open the refreshing taste of cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Stay cool.
Back at the Joe Louis Arena, be sure to watch Sports Extra during the playoffs. Viewers can call in during Sports Extra with Ray Lane. He'll be giving away hockey sticks, T-shirts, tickets, autographed jerseys to the lucky call-in winner. Watch Sports Extra on UPN 50 beginning this Sunday. All I can say to Ray Lane is, if you need some place to hide that stuff, including the tickets, I got a spot.
You're absolutely right.
I got a spot in my garage, Ray.
Okay, listen, I can
hide
trust
all
you.
the goodies.
We'll find the bondsman first, okay?
All right. Bobby Bullen and Maltby exchanging, and Maltby nearly stripped it from Manson. Maltby would have been in. Red Wings with a 3-goal advantage. Now Korolev gets loose between the circles. Checked from behind by Maltby. Maltby scored a goal tonight and played an effective game. There's a hit by Drake on Jamie Pusher. Wings look to come out with it. Here's Eiserman. Airy coming late. Pass for Airy, tipped away by McIver. Delayed offside, and they'll wave it off. Jets send him back into the Red Wing zone, and Draper has it there. Draper, he's had the Jets going since the first period. Slowed down a bit by Shane Doan.
Got them all fired up Monday night. Great. When I was at a restaurant. He's all smiles. I was talking to Drape tonight. I said, did your roommate Osgood hear the show the other night? And the guy called up and said, boy, you guys were tough on Ozzy out in San Jose. You know, like we thought. He was crass. He loves that rack.
You know, goaltenders need their rest, no question about that.
It must have been Ozzy's dad that called.
Here is Brown tied up by Tverdovsky, but Brown still got the pass away to Cicerelli. Breaks free from his check. Sets it up for Brown. Fading away. Shot was blocked by Kilger out to center ice. Cicerelli hustles back. Kilger drives it in wide of the Detroit goal. 6 minutes gone by. There's Batista. Papa Bear back out there after taking that elbow from McKenzie. Now Draper center ice. Draper looking to go wide on Tverdovsky. Now Draper centers. Off the skate of Cicerelli. He's tied up by Newman. And the Jets have it. Ed Kilger has not seen a lot of ice time tonight. Kilger, Shane Doan. Better off with it. Pass was through the legs of Draper. He didn't see it. Back the other way now. Darren Shannon gives it off for Stapleton. Checked right away by Fedorov. Fedorov got a holler from Rouse on the far side. Now flips it into the Jet zone. Manson back to play it. Manson moves it now for McIver. McIver and Manson really got tangled up there. Now Darren Shannon up the left side. Old Chuck from a tough angle. Easy stop there for Osgood. Larionov with it now. Pulls up on the boards. Trying to play it ahead. Lidstrom has it. Lidstrom flips it to Kozlov. He's checked in front of the Jets bench. Goes through the legs with the puck. Picked up by Larionov. He has it onside for Fedorov. Fedorov cruising in with Constantina. Trying to go back to Fedorov, who got the shot away. Hobby Bull in the save, and the rebound cleared as Manson and Kozlov going after each other with the stick. McCausey has a very subtle way with that stick of getting guys.
Manson about three men bigger than Cosby. Right there taking it.
Boy. No icing here. We're down to 12:20 left in the third period. Red Wings in control right now, leading 4-1. Constantino trying to move it with a glove. Now Maltby to the line, held in by Newman. Intercepted Eiserman. May look to break here with Larry 2-on-1. Tverdovsky the only man back. Eiserman shoots. Happy Bullet saves. And Airy,
he got drilled,
ends up in the net. And we'll have to wait and see if there's going to be a penalty. Just about 8 minutes gone by here in the third. The Wings continue to lead the Jets 4-1.
Let's see. I don't do too many brake jobs.
Is your mechanic trying to tell you where you should have gone for brake service?
That's a toughie.
Is your car dealership telling you where to go?
How's about a week from next Thursday?
That's a toughie.
Next time, take it to Tuffy. We're brake specialists with the right parts and the right smarts, and we back it all up with a lifetime warranty.
You want a warranty? That's a toughie.
Tuffy Auto Service Centers. For brakes, that's easy.
That's a toughie.
Our price guarantee means you're getting the best deal in town, or even villages, municipalities. At first, I thought we should say the closest thing to free. But the closest thing to free is a penny. You just can't sell stuff for a penny. That's how I lost my first job.
ABC Warehouse. Nothing for free. Just the closest thing to wholesale.
Get this GE 35-inch stereo color TV, just $877 or less.
Well, Bob Airy goes flying into the net for the second time tonight. Eiserman with the intercept, 2-on-1. Eiserman was left a lane to the net. They took the pass away, and he just took it. And Avi Bullen made that stop. That's the 29th shot on goal for Detroit. The Jets have only 12 with 11.5 to go.
Manson up the boards, intercepted Jamie Pusher, a shot toward the net. Went wide. Drake with it. Back for Manson. Just avoided Maltby. Chopped away from Eastwood by Lidstrom. Up the right side, Maltby. McIver with the angle on him, but Hobby Bullen out to play the puck. Wings get it back. Pusher right point. Sends it back in deep for Maltby. And a shove by McIver. Now Airy gets to the loose puck. Sends it back behind the Jets net. Maltby goes after it. McIver runs into him. Airy with a hit on Manson. Forces a turnover. Eiserman plays it across. Here's Airy with it. Back to Eiserman, a drive, and it was deflected. Hobby Bullen the save. Now you got Fetisov and Drake, and this goes back to the earlier game in this building that the Jets won 6-4 when Fetisov got the butt end on Drake that resulted in a 2-game suspension for Fetisov. And Drake right away dropped the gloves, and Fetisov turned the other way.
Maltby, and there was a hit by Manson to the back of the head of Maltby. He's been everywhere tonight, and he'll go for that. And here was that earlier action. Little Kozlov and great big Manson, and watch him. Kozzy's there being a pain in the neck. Look at the little shove on Manson. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Get away from me. Get away from me, you big guy. Oh, boy.
8:48 will be the time of the penalty on Manson here, Mick.
Isn't it great to be a hockey fan?
Well, just a reminder that this week only, UPN's regular Wednesday night lineup moving to Saturday afternoon, so don't miss an all-new episode of The Sentinel and Swift Justice on a special day and time, Saturday afternoon starting at 4 right here on UPN 50.
There's no more fun than the springtime in the NHL, boy. Intensity's up as high as you can get it. Playoff just a week away, Tuesday or Wednesday night. Red Wings will start. Probably won't know that till Monday morning. The way this race is going. Net's off the mooring. Can Ozzy get it back is the question while the play goes on.
Bobby Boulin covers up with Kozlov in the neighborhood.
It was Shannon that gave Konstantinov a pop, and he ran into Osgood, knocked the net off. I don't think Ozzy knows the net's off to his left.
No, he got the right post fixed, but
he does not know. Look at this. We'll show you this left goal post. There, the linesman caught it.
Well, a couple of players on the bench were yelling at Ozzy.
He had no idea that thing was off, and of course.
Let's go downstairs once again to Harry Hairston. Harry, what do you got?
Hey, coming up right after the game, don't go away. Ray Lane is going to have the player of the game right here first on UPN 50. Also, we're going to tell you about a gambling debt that may have been the cause why a Highland Township woman was blown up when she started her car. And also, an oil refinery goes up in flames. We'll have a live report for you from Southwest Detroit. All that and more, where the action keeps on getting hotter right here on UPN 50 after Red Wing Hockey.
Thank you, Harry. The action getting hot and heavy right over Harry's left shoulder there. He's right down behind the glass by Hobby Boulin. Here comes Draper in, and Hobby Boulin steers it aside. Draper ran over the top of him and brought the goal stick with him. Hobby Boulin's goal stick's about 30 feet away over on the near boards, and he doesn't dare go after it. Chris Draper right into it, isn't he? Approaching the halfway mark of the third period. A minute left in the Manson penalty.
He skated really strong tonight, boy.
Hobby Boulin still without a goal stick. The crowd knows it now. Here's Fedorov. Into the zone with Cicerelli. And Bob Airy going to the front of the net. Yzerman fakes the pass to the point, hangs on to it at the hash mark. Now goes back to Lidstrom. Back to Yzerman.
You want to be patient. No need to hurry. Now Stapleton passes his stick to Hobby Boulin, so he'll be without one. Stapleton, I mean. And he'll go and retrieve the goal stick and then make the switch.
Good work there. Here is Yzerman. Pulls up center right. Lost control of the puck. Korolev back into the wing zone. Tried to snap a shot. Lidstrom got most of that, and Osgood easily steers it aside. Fedorov deflected it ahead too far for Airy. Here's Tverdovsky. Back between the circles, out to center right. Korolev checked from behind by Yzerman. And the penalty to Manson has expired. Newsom's going to have a bullet for a moment. Newman has it there. 9 minutes straight up left here with the third period. Red Wings 4, the Jets 1. Dave Strader along with Mickey Revin, Ray Lane, Toby Cunningham down on the truck. Glad you've joined us here tonight on this late edition game to our schedule. Hansen with a big hit, and Brown sent him flying. And here is Chad Kilger, 65-footer, blocked by Konstantinov. Konstantinov, oh, he saw King coming.
Put your head up, boy. Look out, here comes King now. King composed himself pretty well there. Trying to draw the penalty, and that's a smart thing to do. You know? He was intent on hitting Konstantinov, but Vladimir saw him coming and gave him a whack and a tap in the side of the ear before King could do anything, and he'll go to the box. Konstantinov looks like a Jets power play when we come back.
It's Little Caesars. Stuffed crust pizza and pepperoni stuffed crazy bread for $8.99. You can't afford a big name. Now they want a sports celebrity. We can do sports.
Little Caesars stuffed crust pizza plus cheese and pepperoni stuffed crazy bread carried out just $8.99 or have it delivered. Delivery.
FedEx has over 33,000 drop-off spots to take your 2-day package. Cost about $12.
UPS has over 75,000 drop-off spots for your 2-day package. Cost about $6.
The U.S. Postal Service has over 330,000 drop-off spots for your priority mail 2 to 3-day package. Cost exactly $3.
So, 12, 6, 3. What's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Bell introduces out-of-door pricing at the guaranteed lowest price, complete with everything included. Nobody comes close. Nobody's closer than Bell Tire. Double minor penalty to Vladimir Konstantinov. Somebody referred to him to Vladdy the Impaler. Was there a Vladdy the Impaler in history at some point?
You got me.
You didn't take that Russian history? And
no, I didn't. I went to the typing class.
Oh, is that what it was? So the Jets work with a man advantage. 8:25 to go in the third. Wings with a 4-1 advantage on the scoreboard. Berry trying to dig it out of there. Rouse as well. It comes loose behind the Detroit net. Lidstrom has it. Room to skate. Carries it right to the Jets line and dumps it back behind the Winnipeg goal. He joined us late. Bergevin, groin injury, and all coffee, some slight back spasms. Did not dress tonight. Danny Pusher up from Adirondack, and a couple of mealies in this game resulted in game misconduct. Finley got 2 for instigating against Primo, when Primo went after the goaltender Hobby Bolin. And then there were 2 other fights that broke out. Finley and Muni got 5 minutes for fighting a game misconduct, or rather Muni and Kachuk, along with Ramsey and McCarty in the wings, so they were gone. All of that happening with 1:01 left in the second period.
Speaking of Primo, he's back on the ice here tonight. A full house here tonight. I didn't get an official attendance, but usually, 19,875?
They're all gone, I know that.
Yeah.
Pusher and Fetisov now, shorthanded, and Fetisov will just lay it softly back into the Jet zone. 3 minutes left in the double minor to Vladimir Konstantinov with 7:35 to go in the third. Red Wings will have a needed day off tomorrow before Chicago comes to town. That'll be interesting. In case you're thinking of taping that game, put it on extra slow. So you turn that 2-hour tape into a 6-hour tape in case you need it. Hansen from
you get fined.
His own net.
You get fined for saying something like that now.
For suggesting it might happen.
Setting it up, you know. Can't do that anymore.
I'm not saying why it'll be. I'm just saying. Better off backing up. Wings have just about killed the first minor, as you see. To Konstantinov, driven down the ice by Fedorov.
Seems like not long ago they came from everywhere to watch Crowder and Probert. Remember that night?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, oh, boy. With the tape and the paper and everything.
Here was McIver. Wings have killed the first of the 2 minors. Lidstrom, a good job against Darren Shannon. It comes up the boards. Fedorov able to clear.
He'd probably fine a sports writer for doing that today, wouldn't he?
Oh, I doubt it.
Tail of the tape.
That was the Probert Domi in New York. Daily News. Olchuk dumps it back now for Shannon. He is checked on the play by Fetisov. Olczyk out to the left point. McIver wanted to shoot it, had a Red Wing in front of him, and it's cleared to center ice by Airy. He almost chopped it through to Yzerman for a breakaway. Jets have had just 3 shots in this period. Newman sends it across. Score! There's number 4, and Eastwood on a nice play by Teppo Newman on the power play makes it 4-2.
He really had to drag that thing forward, Eastwood did. He took it in full stride. He'll reach back for it, and one-timed it into the open net. Not much Osgood can do there. He's got to face the shooter, which was Newman, who moved into the top of the circle. Faked the shot. Osgood goes down. The puck got by Fetisov on the far side. And an open net staring Eastwood in the face.
14th of the year for Mike Eastwood, who played his college hockey at Western Michigan. Acquired by the Jets from Toronto for Ty Domi last April. Red Wings looking at a 3-on-2 on the turnover. Up the right side, Primo. Drops it back for Lidstrom. Lidstrom puts on the brakes, had it chopped away by Korolev. And now Manson. Center ice. Primo and Manson may go here. Yeah. Primo's going back and saying, come on, you want to go? We'll go. Play is continuing while the two of them talk about it. Manson, the one that leveled Larionov. Nothing's going to happen here as Draper checked by Chris King, who carries on into the Red Wing zone. King takes it deep. Rouse angles him off. Tipped off the stick of Osgood. Well, McIver got the other assist along with Newman on the power play goal scored by Eastwood. And off the side of the net, it goes to Fedorov in the corner for the clear, and this will be icing. The touch-up by Newman. 4:27 to go. The Jets not out of it yet. They're down only by 2. We'll be back in a moment.
Election year, a time for tough choices, especially at happy hour. Should you go to your usual bar or that new sports bar? Play pool or foosball? Talk to the blondes or the brunettes? But at least one choice is easy.
Miller Lite. Bottle or tap? Bottle. Tap.
Join the party. Choose Miller Lite. Life is good. And when you vote, life is really good.
Ford and your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers are giving you more, so you pay less. Now lease a new 96 Escort 3-door LX loaded for as low as $196 a month. Now with $1,000 cash back. It's America's best-selling small car for under $200 a month. Just $196 for 24 months through Ford Motor Credit with our low-mileage lease. The Great Percent event rolls on. A great time to get so much more for so much less, with over 2,000 Escorts in stock to choose from. See any one of your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers today.
The 1996 tour of World Figure Skating Champions comes to Joe Louis Arena Saturday, May 4th. The talents of Oksana Bayul, Nancy Kerrigan, Brian Boitano, and other champions will be on display here at the Joe. World's best figure skaters. One night only. Get your tickets at 810-645-6666. Red Wings with a 4-2 lead. The Jets closing it within 2 on a power play goal. Here's a shot ripped from the point. Deflected in front of Osgood. Fetisov is there. Now it comes to Fedorov, and he'll just play it softly off the board. Johnny Bowman coming back with the Russian 5. Johnny Bowman, the common thread between the great Montreal teams that won 58, 59, and 60 games back in the late 70s, and this Red Wing team that's on the verge of their 60th. Newman makes a fake, goes to the corner with it. Olczyk tried to center, blocked by Fetisov. Fetisov down. Konstantinov tried to clear it. Now Olczyk centers, bounces off the stick of Taverdowski. And Kozlov gets to it. Kozlov got it to the line, but not out. Here is Darren Shannon. Konstantinov checking him. Larionov with it. Flips it across for Fetisov. Backhand pass now. Kozlov leading his way through the Winnipeg zone. Dallas Drake knocked it loose. And it's picked up now by Korolev. Korolev back to the late man. Drake drives the shot, deflected just over the top of Osgood. And here is Yzerman with it. He's got Fedorov and Airy coming late. Back to Fedorov, back to Yzerman for Airy, and it went underneath the stick. Out in in front. Eiserman again, a bouncing puck. Tries to get the shot away. It's taken off his stick. Knocked away from Eastwood. Here is Dallas Drake, sandwiched between two Red Wings. It's back the other way. Hobby Bullen coming out of the net. Eiserman got there first. Eiserman, tough angle to the net. Blocked, and it's knocked away by McIver. Hobby Bullen was beaten and got some help from a teammate.
That wasn't even close.
Well, I think he looked at Eiserman thinking Eiserman was going for a change. It comes out to Batista. Nice play across. Quick shot by Primo. May have been deflected, and Hobby Bullen still had to make a save. Kirk Maltby with it. Maltby sends it back to the line. Batista drives the shot save made by Hobby Bullen. Chris King and Konstantinov behind the play were going at it. Konstantinov started to move in.
They're still going at it at center ice, too.
Who's that, Lariano?
No, that's Draper that got run by King.
Primo center ice. It's it deep into the Jet zone. Minute 40 left in this one. Kozlov breaks it up, and it's back at center ice. Minute and a half to go. Crowd is chanting. Are they chanting 6-0? 6-0 is the chant coming from the Joe Louis crowd as this Red Wing team is on the verge of sharing a piece of history. And they'll have a chance Friday night to set a new mark.
There goes Hobby Bullen to the bench. Jets going to throw it all to the wind. They might as well.
Empty net. Kozlov sends it across. Here is Doug Brown in the open net. Score! That'll wrap it up.
Octopi coming out of the stands at both ends of the ice. Victory number 60 is put to bed. That record stood for 19 years, 1976, 77. Montreal Canadiens, only 8 losses. Doug Brown gets the 5th Red Wing goal, his 12th of the year. Red Wing fans enjoying it. Boy, they have had a season to remember. 51 seconds left here.
Mick, there have been 7 or 8 teams that have had 50 or more wins since that last Montreal team that won 58 after the 60-win season. The team that came the closest to challenging the mark was the 83-84 Edmonton Oilers when they won 57.
Well, I thought it was quite a year last year in the lockout with only 12 losses, and here they're barely only one more than that here in an 80-game season so far with 2 left to go. And Kozlov just got out of the way of that freight train. King coming down the board. And with a stoppage here as they collect the gear, I get 2 birthday wishes to get in. It's Cheryl Maloney and to Brian Turner, happy 26th.
Kozlov and Lidstrom assisted on the empty net goal scored by Brown, his 12th of the year. And again, a reminder, will it be the Jets? Will it be the Ducks? Will it be the Canucks? Will it be Tuesday or Wednesday? We don't know the answer to any of those questions, but we do know that we will have Game 1 of the playoffs Tuesday or Wednesday. And make note of that message at the bottom. The Road to the Cup pregame show beginning at 7 o'clock.
It could be the Blues. It could be the Maple Leafs.
That's a stretch, but it's possible. You're right.
That's right. It could be any one of them. The only 3 teams that are set here are the Red Wings, the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, I almost said it.
Yeah.
And Chicago.
They can't go anywhere. They're 1, 2, and 3 in that order. And Bobby Bullen now going back and forth with the fans here. They do the calamari down there in the street.
I've been talking with the referee, Dvorsky, I think arguing that, King should have gotten an extra 2 for trying to take Kozlov out of the game.
Onto Jefferson Avenue.
The pusher gets the 2 for instigating, 5 for fighting. The automatic game misconduct. King gets 5 for fighting.
It has been a marvelous season for Red Wing fans to watch this team overall. They lost 3 games at home all year long with 1 left, 41st on Friday night.
So a power play for the Jets to close this game out. And it's fitting, I think, that win number 60 would be an example of what the Red Wings have had to do to win the first 59. The opposition with 14 shots on goal.
Good old Draper still going.
2 goals against or less. Look at the move by Draper there. He'll cover the puck. He'll kill some more time. Now he'll move it with his glove.
Don't forget the Jets are the team that gave up on Chris Draper.
That's right.
There's a little extra, boy. Look at him work. Holy mackerel. Oh, let this thing go. And a boy, it's Mark Clock. Timekeeper, let it run out. The penalty called at the 20-minute mark against the Jets. The material.
Win number 60, the 55th time that this Red Wing team has given up 2 goals against or less in a game. And just in case it's the Winnipeg Jets next Tuesday or Wednesday, the Red Wings have won 3 straight against this club in the last month of the season, all by identical 5-2 scores. And now the scoreboard acknowledging that the Red Wings have tied the NHL record set by the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens, 60 victories.
There's the guy that was behind the bench for both teams 19 years ago in Montreal. And right now with the Red Wings, and he knows what great teams are all about.
And the reason that Scotty Bowman has hesitated for the last couple of days to compare those Montreal teams with this Red Wing team is because those Montreal teams went on to do something that this team has not done, and that's carry home the Stanley Cup. Again, don't forget, our next Red Wing telecast here on UPN 50 will be either next Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll be game 1 of the playoffs. Our final score here tonight, 5-2. And don't forget the road to the Cup preceding the telecast of game 1. For Toby Cunningham, the executive producer of Red Wing Hockey. Down on the truck for Ray Lane. Down in the studio for my partner, Mickey Redmond. This is Dave Strader saying so long. Thanks for being a part of history tonight. Win number 60 is in the books. Red Wings over the Jets 5-2. And the 10 o'clock news is straight ahead.
What's better than daylight savings time? Toyota savings time. Time to check out the low Camry.
See Page in Southfield, Ann Arbor Toyota, LaFontaine, and Dearborn.